We've only lost to Liverpool and Man City this season. No one else has beaten us. We're not dropping no losses. I think we're more consistent than Villa. You can play your tippy-tappy bollocks, mate. We'll win our trophy. We'll play our winning football.
So rattled, isn't he?
Let's do our predictions then for this Villa game. Draw wouldn't surprise me, but I feel like we can win this. You know, I see no reason why we can't come back in the new. We're scoring goals. We're also leaking goals, but we're scoring goals. So, yeah, no reason why we can't go and get the win on Sunday. And I'll be very happy. Oh, Watkins! Oh, no! Douglas Luiz! There we go. Good for you. 3-2. We got to get 3. Get Kudus on now! Get him on! Hose him down, Zoo. Game over. Waste of time. Thank you. Goodbye. It's fine. I'm happy. Bailey! Phil Bailey! Where's Phil Collins? An easy lover. Well done, Moyes. That's on you, matey. Up our goal difference. We've got negative goal difference now. Oh, contenders! What?
Yes.
I knew this was coming. I knew it.
Oh, welcome to the show, people.
Look, what is that?
Normality has resumed.
We are contenders, mate.
Oh, what a weekend.
Billy, everyone laughed when you said wolves. Maybe you were right, mate. Maybe you were right.
Mate, big up everybody, man. Big up the show, big up the panel, big up everybody in the chat. Big up Errol, big up Lawless, big up Billy, big up Dan, big up Pete, and big up Huey, man, who's jumped on. LB's not about tonight. Huey is going to jump on here before the Big Six. What a legend. How are you, Huey? You good, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Back to winning ways. So, life's good, man. Thanks for having me on.
You know what? You've joined at a good time because LB's been rinsed the last couple of weeks with clips like that. So you've done a good thing coming on.
You've been clipping them up for a mini
Yeah. Oh, for sure, man. For sure. It's been funny. But Lawless has got away with it the last few weeks, man. And last season he had it bad. And that was a good one. I can't lie. We've got to start there, I suppose. Lawless, I'll let Billy sit and smile while he hears you talk through this amazing football game that we saw yesterday that apparently was all David Moyes' fault from what I can imagine. So go for it, bro.
Well, it was like, and I think everyone needs to relax. This doesn't mean anything in the greater scheme of West Ham. This doesn't define our season, but we went to a Villa Park where they haven't lost there in 11 games or something. You know, good for them. But you know, we started Antonio. I said we shouldn't have started Antonio. The guy ain't got the legs for it. He's just been on international duty of Jamaica. And we asked him to now come back and run ragged up top on his own. Everyone could see it, but Moyes can't see. He played 90 minutes. How did he play 90 minutes? Baffled me. Souček, he's been in the goals lately, but he was anonymous in the middle. Paqueta, I know Potts, you was like, what's he doing out wide? Okay, it worked in a couple games, but we had nothing in the midfield. You're taking him out of the midfield. It was just, we started on top, by the way. We started on top. You got to admit that, Billy.
You had a chance in the first minute.
Whoa, let's not do that. Let's not.
No, he ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. He ain't even wrong, though, Lawless. What are you talking about?
Which was offside as well.
And it was offside, and it was a good save from Martinez, but it was offside anyway. That was all you had.
No, but we're not just talking about shots and all of that on target. I'm just talking about we were in the ascendancy for the first 10 minutes or so, right? The first 10, 12 minutes, we started quite hot. I was quite happy with how we was playing. How many points
did you get for that?
Whoa. What should we just say, Errol? We got no points. End off. Right? I'm just saying.
You said we was in the ascendancy for 10 minutes. People haven't even had a fucking brew or a pint yet. They haven't finished the first bevy and they're sitting down. Like, what is that supposed to mean? How are we supposed to hang our hats on that in any way, shape, or form?
Because obviously we come in, we started hot and we just drifted out. We was pressing them. We started pressing them a bit. It was just shit. We didn't turn up. Moyes didn't say, like, even our better players, Paqueta wasn't great. Ward-Prowse was so deep for no reason, so fucking Souček could be so advanced. But you got to look at the manager for that. I'm sorry. People want to say, yeah, he's won us the trophy. He's done a good job this season. He's not above criticism. And the substitutions, why is he bringing on Danny Ings? Why is he still bringing on this man? And I tell you what, when he brought off
Antonio's crap and you've got no striker, like I told you. That's why.
We've got Mubama. Why is Mubama not coming on? He told him, don't go on loan. We got plans for you. If fucking Ings, you might as well bring on the youngster. But I swear to God, when he brought off Antonio at the 89th and 52nd, right? 55 seconds, whatever it was, I wanted to reach through that telly and headbutt the geezer. Because you're fucking taking the piss now. You're making a mockery. You should have come off at half time. And we're sitting there and I'm like, he's going to play the full 90. And Moyes is like, no, he'll play 89 minutes and 51 seconds. But, it's...
Surely Lawless, right? Surely Paqueta as a left winger and Antonio through the middle is worse than having Alvarez, Ward-Prowse and Paqueta in your three and then Kudus in your front line. Surely that's a better team, right?
Yeah, you would think so. Why have we signed Kudus? Why did we sign this man? Like, he come on,
He impressed me,
and
actually.
took the piss out of Newcastle and got us a point. And he's still not starting. And we're just rinsing Antonio, because I keep being, Antonio, he fits the way we want to play. He fits the way Moyes is going to play. What are we going to do? He's going to be fucking 45 and still running himself into the ground up front because he could play how we want to play. What the fuck was we doing in the summer? Why did we not sign a younger Antonio if this is all we can play to? What's the point? It's just so frustrating, man. It just pissed me off. Like, that performance pissed me off. It doesn't mean we're finished. Doesn't mean, we're ninth and we're going to be shit and Villa's going to be so good. It was one of those days. Okay, Villa.
I'm not hearing a lot of credit from Villa from you, though. I'm not hearing a lot of credit from how
I'll tell you what, it's funny, though, because we beat Newcastle last season 4-0 at Villa Park, and it was an off day for Newcastle. We beat Brighton 6-1 at Villa Park, and it was an off day for Brighton. We beat West Ham 4-1 at Villa Park. We beat Man U at Villa Park last season, and it was an off day.
That's nothing to brag about.
I'm not saying it wasn't me that mentioned it, but we're beating these teams, and it just so happens to be off days for them, but no credit for Villa.
I said you deserve to win it.
Villa, Billy.
My apologies. It was
4-0. I can't look at
that game. Otherwise, I'll tell you.
Billy, I want to unpack that. Billy, let's unpack that, because I think you made a very good point there, mate. Let's unpack it.
Oh, here we go.
How do you feel that Villa have been able to accomplish such feats in recent weeks and months? I can't really think of the word. It doesn't feel real. It's surreal. To be honest with you, it's a year ago tomorrow since Emery's come in, and we're averaging 2 points a game since he came in, and it's just crazy to turn around.
What? I didn't say nothing.
Well, we've got Alkmaar twice coming up, so we'll see what happens there. But yeah, the trajectory that we're on in the league, at least, is just incredible. And he's brought in a few players, mostly in the summer, but the way that he's turned the players around that we already had at the club. That man behind me there, I don't know if you can see it in the dark, Douglas Luiz. What a phenomenal player he is. Ezri Konsa, Ollie Watkins. These players they're just playing out of their skin at the minute. And
Billy, how's the Italian lad getting on? Because I feared for him yesterday. I was so worried about him taking a head injury, and he was rolling around. I was worried.
That was shameless, Billy. That was shameless.
Thank God, we have this rule in now where we can keep an eye on these lads and making sure that they're okay and they're not dead. Ridiculousness.
What a little bitch,
ridiculousness.
Like, we was literally fucking going through. We was on right. We was fucking attacking. Yeah, we was putting them. We was on the back foot. We got hold of the ball and we was about to do something with it. But he's there, fucking acting like a little bitch for the mighty Villa. You're Champions League contenders, and that's what you got to do. Yeah, I'm supposed to take you seriously when you're doing that. Get out. Go on the fucking sideline.
Where was the synergy when Paqueta did it against Brighton?
Right, let's talk about this because I called him out. I actually called him out, Paqueta, right?
I'll call Zaniolo out. It was pathetic, but he's not the first player to do it. He's not going to be the last player to do it.
Paqueta, he got caught in the eye. Like he
got caught on the chin. It was a brush to the chin.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What Paqueta did was wrong. He didn't feign a head injury. Like head injuries, they're a serious thing, and he's sitting there making mockeries of it. People have had to wear crash helmets and shit playing games, and he's just there. Oh, my head. I'm just saying,
and then the Villa fans booing because the ref made him wait the 30 seconds to come back on.
Oh yeah,
I was like, come on.
What little mugs. And that McGinn as well. Like he was cheating and all sorts of stuff up in the other end of the box and fucking whinging to the ref.
What was he doing?
Hate that guy.
Who was cheating?
He just hates him. It's just John McGinn.
You don't like any of them, man. I still haven't heard.
Let's give Villa some credit, though, Lawless. Let's give Villa some credit.
Did I not say they deserve to win? Is that not?
It was wave after wave. It was wave after wave with Villa. Wave after wave.
He said we deserve to win because of how poor you were. There's been no credit given.
No, all right, I tell you what. Here's the difference. Between Aston Villa and West Ham in that game. They've got proper striker. That's what it is. Ollie Watkins, right? And he the guy's class. We had a chance to sign him at Brentford. We chose not to. Obviously, we ended up signing Ben Rama. I was screaming at the time, get the guy. But yeah, we didn't do it. But that's the X factor. Like he is a quality player. I admit it. We don't have that. So all them times when we're creating chances, what are we doing? I just seen fucking look at this guy. Fucking deluded D's in the house. Deluded D's in the house. But
big up D, man. Get over to back of the nest. Big up D.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like that's the X factor there. We haven't got that. Someone like a Watkins there. But
haven't you got a Kudus? Isn't Kudus supposed to be your X factor? What isn't Paqueta supposed to be your X factor?
He's the bench factor. That's what Kudus is, man. He's the
you know what, Lawless. Like what I will say, and like we'll wax lyrical about Villa because they deserve it. I thought they were superb yesterday. But you had a moment. You got that goal back. A little bit of the deflection, but you got the goal back, and it was 2-1 at that point. And you talked about, in my opinion, from watching the game, you talked about moments. That was the moment that you needed to change the game. I agree with you. I think Antonio needed to come off. I thought he was really ineffective. But for me, bringing someone like Kudus on, maybe even playing Bowen through the middle with a little bit of pace, a little bit of direct ability, someone that can finish, I think maybe would have given you an opportunity because Villa did drop off. They did drop off for a period. When you got that goal and you're back in the game, you were in the ascendancy, you look like the next team to score, to maybe equalise. And that's maybe, for me, Moyes' downfall because he just kept with it. He didn't change anything. He didn't make those decisions. And so I do understand it from that point of view because at that moment, you were in with a chance of maybe getting something. But the longer it went on and the longer you still had someone like Antonio on the pitch who for me, he couldn't keep anything. He couldn't trap a ball. He couldn't hold the ball up. He was just running in circles. Like, he just really wasn't very good at all. But yeah, if you give them enough time, Villa will come back to life again, and that's exactly what they did. And they properly punished you on the back of that.
I thought Villa were better in every department, in my opinion. And you know, I was told that Alvarez is better than Declan Rice defensively. It didn't look it to me. That's the first time I watched him. Didn't look it to me. But you know,
first time you watch him is when we don't turn up.
Maybe I need to start watching Declan Rice again, because if it's a worry if he's worse than him. Let me tell you that, because that's not what I've been seeing. But there we go. Billy, let me have your say. Lawless has had enough moaning about how he's Moyes out again now in 1 week.
Go on, wax lyrical. Wax lyrical.
You talk to me, Billy. And do you know what, actually? Big up Unai Emery as well, because you said it's a year tomorrow. And I know that a lot of Arsenal fans hated on him and all that stuff. It didn't work out. But what a manager he is, by the way. And I think he deserves a lot more credit than he gets, because a lot of people are talking about him. They're all talking about De Zerbi, and they're bigging up him, and they're bigging up other managers. I think he goes under the radar for me, man. You know, Eddie Howe and De Zerbi, brilliant, unbelievable. But Emery's right up there for me, man. I'm not so sure he gets mentioned as much as he should.
I would completely agree with that, to be honest with you. I think if that was a Brighton team that had been on this similar sort of run, then I don't think I think it'd just be non-stop from the media. And to be honest with you, it's nice at the minute that we are getting a little bit of that media coverage. It's good to see. It's good to it's nice to have that kind of recognition, and it puts a little bit of pressure on the players as well. I mentioned this at the beginning of the season when we was having a lot of hype about the Villa, that it's now how we deal with this pressure of people looking at us, of people noticing us and noticing what we're doing, rather than us just flying under the radar. And you know what, I'm ready to face it head on. I really am. I don't fear anyone in the league at the minute, bar Man City, of course. You know, we was unlucky last season against Arsenal not to come away with something. And yeah, I just every week now I just go into a Villa game, and it feels really weird that I'm feeling quietly confident about these games. Obviously, I'm not naive enough to think that every game is going to be a walk in the park, because they're absolutely not. This is the Premier League we're talking about. We've got Luton next week. It's going to be a tough game. Of course it is. Every game in the Premier League is a tough game.
I don't know what you... Is it going to be tougher than him?
Of course it is. Of course
Billy,
it is.
I was just about to say how far he's come from the days of, well, we got Hibs next week, and you know we take nothing for granted, and then you bring up bloody Luton. Come on.
Look, we've got a tough game. We've got a tough game against Alkmaar on Thursday, and then we go when we're back at Villa Park for Luton. But no, we've got a good run now of Luton, Nottingham Forest, and Fulham, and these are teams that we have to be beating for sure. No disrespect to them at all. Like I say, each game in the Premier League is a tough game. We know that, of course it is. But these are teams that we have to be beating if we want to be up where we are. So we've beaten the West Hams, the mighty West Hams. We've beaten the mighty Brentfords. You know, now it's time for us to beat Luton, Forest, and Fulham. So fingers crossed we can do. And then come the next international break, after 12 games, we're still up there. And who knows where the season can take us, you know. We've just got such a good winning feeling and a positive feeling around the club with the players, the manager, the fans. Everyone's just together.
The media. And they was having a big wank fest at Sky Sports over Villa. They were desperate for you to win. It was like fucking Villa TV.
Oh, keep crying, man. That's rubbish.
It was an absolute joke. I'm just saying, make sure you win your next two games, Billy. Because if you don't, mate, I'm gonna be
Lawless, get closer. Lawless, we need the close up for this, mate. We need the close.
I'll be waiting. I'll be ready. Just make sure.
Lawless making beef with Aston Villa, man. There's no rivalry there. It's a one-off game. Let it go.
Do you know what it is? Do you know what it is?
He does it every season with different teams.
We'll be there
every season.
Honestly, I think I can speak. I can speak for everyone on the panel. No one gave a shit about West Ham before you popped up. And now everyone wants to beat you.
How dare you? How dare you? Everyone cares
What
about
the hell
Billy's
has
got the
happened
mic,
to
man.
Billy?
Billy's got the mic there,
See,
man.
see,
The
Lawless,
thing is, I know.
No.
If we'd have lost, I'd be getting absolutely battered. And so, don't give me that. You even said
Lawless,
on
you've done
your
this. This is
watch
you.
along that it would be.
This is you, Lawless. You've turned the cuddly bear that is Billy into a fucking grizzly bear. Well done. Thank you very much,
D
mate.
agrees. D agrees. D agrees in the chat.
No. The problem is, my problem with Villa, right, is all of a sudden now, like everyone's hailing him as the next team now, like, and just overhyping them. And I've had to hear every week, and like Potts at the start of the season was like, you can't believe you could finish above Villa and Brighton. There's no way you're finishing above Villa and Brighton. It's like, who do you think you are? Like, who are you talking to? We've just won a European trophy, mate. We're in our third season in a row playing European football. So, and we're the only English team to go 17 games
unbeaten in Europe.
Put some respect.
Ruined it.
Jarrod Bowen has just equaled the record of Mo Salah and Thierry Henry. He's gone 5 away games in a row.
Look who he's playing against, brother. Look
All
who
right,
he's
so let me
playing
ask you,
against,
That's
man.
what Villa, exactly.
Azuma,
Look who he's playing against. Villa.
Azuma
He's
been
equaling
dribble past
Henry and what?
has Zuma been dribble past yet? No.
I listen. I have to go back and watch it. I wouldn't count that as dribbled
I'm
past.
not
That
being,
only
I'm not
he
being
weren't
too
dribbled
but
past.
Zuma got rinsed by Bailey for that. Or is it the third goal or the fourth goal?
Fourth goal.
He got absolutely
Well
rinsed
done.
by
Bailey scored an irrelevant fucking goal when they'd
Exactly.
already
It
won.
was the way he beat. It was the way he beat Zuma. Like that was.
And he's just a bench player. Like, honestly, when I looked, I was like, we let this guy score. Like, he's been such a flop at that club, and we let him score. Like,
Are you
but
Moyes out
He's
again
worth
now?
every penny now.
10
Are you
game,
Moyes
10
out
game
again now?
review.
Because it's 10 games. Always 10 games nearly, innit? We've got one more.
No. He's got the Everton game. We are
Right,
gonna
so
beat
what happens?
Everton.
So if you lose to Everton, you want Moyes out?
No, I've got to look at the context. It's the review. It's a review. You're asking for a preview of the review, Potts. Can't preview the review. And once that
Surely
game
you know
is
after
done,
one game. Surely you know one game won't make any more difference. Surely you know now. What's the difference between 9 games and 10 games review?
it depends. Adaptability. If he changes things, I'm gonna really have to sit
He's
down.
not going to,
and put
man.
some
It's
thought.
Moyes. You're going to play the same shitty football. You'll have no possession. It'll be hump it up to Antonio. So what are you expecting, bro?
Against Sean Dyche? Is that what you think it's going to be?
I bet you he does. I bet you he doesn't play attacking free style football. I bet you. I bet you any money.
We
he
will
doesn't.
have more possession, and we will
Yeah,
slap
home or away.
Everton.
Home or away.
Home.
At home, innit?
We are not losing to Everton. I don't care. I'm not. This isn't tactical. I'm not accepting it. There's no reality in my mind where I'm accepting.
If you lose to
We
Everton,
don't-
we are absolutely cooking you.
Listen, you could bring
We
it
are.
on.
No,
It's
we
not
are.
happening.
Like
It's just not.
There only should be 2 teams that get beat by Everton all season: Sheffield and Luton, and Luton even beat them. So
Yeah.
you know from when they're getting results against Everton, there's no excuse. Any team that loses or drops points to Everton this season is getting roasted. I'm sorry.
We're
They are
beating
awful.
Everton at home, right? I'm not accepting anything less. All I'm saying is I'm gonna come on and then look, everything's gonna be back to normal. It's a blip. We'll beat Everton. I'll be there. We'll climb up the table a bit. We got a favourable run of fixtures, so you're all ready to dance on our graves, yeah? Like, West Ham. You thought you was.
We
gonna
just think
be
it's funny you lost, bro. That's all it is.
Potts has just texted editor to make sure you got that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure we get it. Get everything.
Sam
fixed.
doesn't miss a trick. Sam doesn't miss a trick.
Sam
Trust
could go
me.
and fantasize about whatever video he's gonna make because it's not
Slipping
gonna
out
get
his
to the
feet.
light of
Serious
day.
question, though, Lawless, because you tend to put your team, not necessarily you, but you tend to put your team in the bracket of potentially the best of the rest. Yeah.
Yeah.
Out of you, West Ham. No, sorry, you are West Ham. Out of you, Villa, and Brighton at the moment, who do you think is like closest to being nailed on for that, European spot next season?
I think Brighton are probably at the bottom of that pile. They're looking very inconsistent.
Okay.
Yeah, based on what they're doing this season, they're very hot and cold. It's not happening, mate. It's just not happening. But yeah, obviously,
Big up Richo.
on
Big up
form,
Richo.
right now, yeah, it's Villa. But as the season gets into the deep trenches and they've got to really deal with that Thursday, Sunday thing, I think that's where, we pick up our experience in Europe really picks up. And the next games are going to tell us a lot because we've got Everton at home, yeah. Then we got Brentford away. We got Forest at home, Burnley away.
But your form's not great. You've only had
How many points do you think you should be picking up from them then, Lawless? Like, no jokes. How many points do you expect to get from the next 4 games?
From our next 4 games, I expect a minimum of 10. No, not minimum. I expect 10. Minimum of 9 from 4. Minimum of 9.
One win in your last 5 in the league. One win.
Yeah, but you don't want to throw no call. Who did we play? Errol? Did we not play the Mighty Reds?
Let's deep it if you want to deep it.
You want to deep it? Who did we play? Let's put context. Don't just play Newcastle.
No, I'm just asking you. You know it's your team. You played Newcastle. You drew. Yeah. You've obviously got beat by Villa. You beat Chef, obviously, because everyone's beating them at the minute. Liverpool, you lost to, and City. Okay. You've had a mixed run of things. 3
Champions League teams are the only teams we've dropped points to, and obviously Villa, who's a Conference League team, because that's like it's Conference League.
That surely means that you must be beaten.
You can never say that, bruv. You can never ever say, so this is the Conference League team.
No, that's what I was bigging it up.
You're bigging that up all last season on this channel. I'm never having that from you. Go on, Billy.
By the way, look. Have your little 3 points, Billy. Enjoy it. We've taken plenty from you over the years. It was about time, you have your little 3 points. You've got to come down to London this season. We'll see what's happening then. But I think we're going to be neck and neck with each other around that point. We're not going to drift away. People are getting hyped because we're 9th at the moment. But like I said, now we've got the tough games out of the way. We got the winnable games. This is where we show what we're about. This is where we pick up the points.
Would you trade Emery for Moyes?
See,
why are you hesitating?
Of course he would.
You've been Moyes out for God knows how long. Emery's come in for a year. We've only Man City have picked up more points in that year.
Potts wanted him out.
How is it even a conversation?
So he can't have been that good because Potts apparently knows what it's all about.
Potts made a good point before though. Potts said about how Emery's going under the radar. I genuinely think, given his stint at Arsenal, where everything was under a microscope, and then given his stint now at Villa, where he's able to just implement things and there's no real, not necessarily not pressure, because there is pressure. Villa is still a big team. There's pressure with the players that he's got at his disposal to still get results and get used back up the table. But there's not that forensic pressure from the media, from the fan base, from all angles, rivalries, banter. There's nothing like that. So he's been able to just flourish in this.
That'll come.
Pardon?
That'll come though, won't it? It will come.
More time. The more time he gets, the more he has in the bank. Do you know what I mean? He gets more credit in the bank.
He has to win that Conference League, Errol, man. If you don't win that,
players though. You look at the players that Emery's got at the best out there, like Ollie Watkins. Like, let's be real, he's always been a good striker, but he's like a great striker under Emery now, in my opinion. And like you look at what
27 goal contributions in 33 games under Emery.
Crazy, man. Like what he was doing, like at Arsenal with Aubameyang and Lacazette, like was the only reason we had any chance of getting towards a Champions League place. Like he can get the best out of going forward. The only thing with Emery, sometimes that high line he can get caught out. That's the only thing I will say about Emery. But like what he's doing at Villa in a year has been phenomenal, man. And Moyes, like I don't know why Lawless is even like contemplating that question. Like that is a yes straight away. Moyes or Emery? Like come on, man.
All right, but let's see if he wins the Conference League this year. Because if he don't, then we have that conversation, boy.
No, we don't have that conversation because Emery's won 4 Europa Leagues, bruv.
Okay, like, but we're talking about Villa Emery. We're talking about England Emery, right? We're talking about we're talking about England Emery. Okay, he can go back to Spain and he can win them all, of course, right?
What is the expectation of Emery? What is the expectation of Villa? I don't get to speak to Villa fans too often, so I want to get a gauge of where you're at with that. You're saying You've got the second most points in the league since he's come in. My thing with Emery was it just going to be a purple patch like a new manager bounce? But it's quite clearly not. He's doing great things. What's your expectation with the Conference League and with the league?
My expectation with the Conference League is to get far in the competition. I'd obviously like to get far in the competition. I would love to win it. I'd probably expect us to win it in actual fact. I see Lawless's face there. I'd probably expect us to win it. We're clearly the favourites to win it. We've got the manager there who's got the European pedigree there to win it as well. So I'd probably expect us to win that. But if we've missed out on the Conference League and managed to win the FA Cup, then I'm not going to be too disappointed.
What? All right, relax. Slow down. Slow down, Billy. FA Cup.
It's a trophy. I don't.
It is. Okay, I know. But come on, let's be real. I'm not coming out and sticking my neck out and saying, "Oh, well, I think if we could just win that FA Cup, let's just relax, man. Come on, you ain't winning no FA Cup."
I'm not saying it like it's.
Can you say about
if you're not gonna win the Conference League, I'm gonna put that out here. I think you're not winning it. I said that. I said that yesterday. I think you know
what trophy?
Conference League. They're definitely not winning the FA Cup. They're looking shaky, man. How are they? How are they like losing to Legia Warsaw, then scraping last-minute wins against fucking hell, I can't even pronounce their name,
and then battering West Ham?
Well, it just shows, isn't it? They ain't got the European pedigree. They ain't got the Euro. Okay, you can do it in the Premier League. You can't do it. Honestly, who you got?
Let me know when you've got a star.
Alkmaar are no mugs, you know.
No, I know they're second in the area.
I know that. But we're European pedigree, mate. But you.
What was it that lad called him last season, Lawless, on your channel? Was it Alphabet FC?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, that lad called him Alphabet FC. Yeah.
Oh, that's quality. That kid's quality.
So let's see if you can beat Alphabet FC.
Well, we'll see what happens. But I'd obviously love to see us win some sort of silverware. If it's not the Conference League, then of course I'd like to see us win the FA Cup. I don't get how much of why that's such a big. Huh?
What are you saying? If he don't win, if he wins no silverware?
Well, this is what I was going to get onto. I'd like us to still be competing in the league, nonetheless. Whether we go far in Europe or not, I still want to see us maintaining that at least in the top 6 or 7. You know,
you take 7 and no trophies, and you'll be like, "Joe, keep it up, keep going, Emery. We love you. I would keep it up, mate."
No, I'd probably take 7th and a good run in one of them, like to get to a semi-final or a final or something.
Don't let him do this, Billy. He's trying to trip you up, mate.
I really don't see what the big.
Billy, I think you'll win the conference. I said the English teams will have a good year. I think Liverpool win the Europa, Villa will win the conference. What
if Brighton drop down?
We'll see what happens.
What if Brighton drop down there?
Yeah, but you keep saying this. You just said Brighton. You just said Brighton are the bottom of the 3 teams that are all suggested. So why would Brighton be
in the league? But I'm just saying they could do no.
Yeah, but Brighton have got nothing in Europe. In Europe, have they?
They got no.
Brighton have never been in Europe.
It's their first outing in Europe, but like
yeah,
they're just
calm down. Lawless has got a hate for Villa.
Anyway,
Lawless has got a hate for Villa. I don't know why, but he's never liked Villa. I don't know why. Every time
do you know what it is?
It's the jealousy of the claret and blue.
No, like you should have got relegated.
We were first with the claret and blue, and he's gutted that West Ham weren't.
No, that result should not have happened yesterday because you should have got relegated if it weren't for goal tight line technology, right? That would not have happened yesterday.
You are reaching, bro.
Did you not got relegated with the Tevez and Mascherano affair?
Breaking news: the season finishes after 28 games.
38.
Well, exactly.
No, but that's
the match finishes after 10 minutes. When Lawless is on the he wants to cash out his 3 points. He's going to the bookies. 10 minutes in, cash me out.
I'm just saying.
They were on top for the first minute.
Hey, Billy, also, mate, big shout out to Douglas Luiz as well. That's a record, isn't it now? 6 in 6 at home, is it?
Exactly, yeah. Six goals in 6 games, or 7 goals in 6 games now. At home in 6 consecutive games. First Villa player to do so. The previous record was Dwight York with 5.
This is the best
So,
start
yeah.
he's ever had to like a Premier League season.
To a
apparently,
Premier
as
League
well,
season. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's
big up Villa, man. Big up Villa, big up
honestly, I genuinely think that there's more gears for us to go in as well. You know, we've got 4 first-team players out injured as well, or that they were when they were injured in Mings, Buendia, Jacob Ramsey, and Alex Moreno as well. You know, we've got players to come back. We've got gears to. We've still got a few gears to go up. So yeah, it's as a Villa fan, it's frightening to see. Really, I just being in that conversation of hearing pundits possibly mention us in a top 4, top 5 debate. It's it's pinch your skin stuff, really.
Yeah, fair play, man. Big
Anyway,
up.
if
Listen,
you finish
I'm
above
gonna move.
Arsenal and get them out of the top, listen, I will take back everything I say. I will cheer you on, everything.
Unbelievable.
Right.
Unbelievable, this guy.
Right,
Unbelievable.
Listen,
Errol, let's move to you because I know you ain't got long, bruv.
I'm looking forward to this.
2 questions.
I'm looking forward to this.
I want you to touch on the Kenyatte situation for me, right? Because that is a strange one for me. But I also want to, in a positive, talk about Salah because I think he's gone under the radar a little bit. And I think sometimes people disrespect him. I don't know why. People just seem to not like Mo Salah. And there's people that have said he was shocking against Everton and he was just lucky that he got the goals. But I don't know that you can really always go by that, if that makes sense.
He was piss poor, don't he?
Yeah, no, listen, he was. But I don't know. Well, let me ask you on both those questions and you can go with what you think because I think it's a little bit harsh when a guy gets you basically what you need, which is the ball in the back of the net.
You know what it is?
And then you say he was shocking. But I just don't think Mo Salah. I think Salah's had a really good month. I really think.
He has. He's Mo Salah in what he does. He's output. He has got output for days, and he's been like that since day one at Liverpool. I think the problem with Salah is, and I don't really understand why people don't particularly like him because on a personal level or his personality, he comes across as nothing but a gentleman in all aspects of the word. Like he's a very humble guy. He's not like overly flashy. He seems very family orientated. He's like a ultra professional in terms of his body. He's a temple, and there's no scandals or anything roaming on in the background. So he seems to like if he
went for a period of diving though, Errol. I think that's where them first few seasons. He hasn't really done it so much.
I don't know if that's enough to really, for the way some people go on. I was going to say, he to me is like the equivalent of a Kante. No one really ever had a bad word to say about Kante as the type of.
And he plays for Liverpool, though. Liverpool, I think.
Again, we're a bit more of a divisive club, and let's be honest, he's put most of your teams to the sword at least once or twice since he's been at Liverpool. So I can understand
several times, mate. Several times.
Yeah, several. Maybe a few in the middle. But I think when I watched him on the weekend, I was just frustrated with he didn't look. I don't know whether it was a fitness issue for him or if he was just a little bit leggy, but he didn't want to take on. Is it Mikalenko or whatever his name is?
Mikalenko.
Yeah, he didn't want to take him on whatsoever. Every time he kind of stood him up 1v1, he was looking for a cutback or he was looking for a 1-2. He was trying to play it around the corner. And when he was trying to do that, it didn't work. Nothing popped off. Nothing came off for him. He didn't get on the end of any of the return balls. So I'm asking him at this point, or I'm saying, well, he needs to be taking his man on, like, stand him up, sit him down, twist him inside out. We've seen you do it so many times. And Mikalenko was probably Everton's best player. There was nothing going for him down that flank on the weekend, which was just frustrating to see because that is very unlike Salah. And the only way that, again, I know a lot of you lads won't watch Liverpool religiously week in, week out, but the only way I could really kind of compare it was he basically had a Freaky Friday moment with Diogo Jota. Diogo Jota usually drops those type of performances where his touch can be a little bit off, the pass can be a little bit wayward, he's not always got the best dribbling or anything like that. But you put the ball in front of him in the key moments in the box at the right time, and Jota will find the back of the net for you. And then all of the stuff that he's done for the last 60 minutes has been forgotten. You forget how shit he played and how much of a stinker he dropped because he's bagged you a goal or two here and there. And it was like the complete reverse. If you watch Jota on the weekend, Jota was electric. Jota looked so good with the ball at his feet, taking the ball down, touches, twisting players. He was dribbling past players, but he didn't get on the goal. He didn't get on the score sheet. So it was a complete contrast between those two players, really. And it felt like they had swapped superpowers for the day. But when Salah then pops up, I still say that's probably one of his best penalties I've seen him take in a long time in terms of the technique. he absolutely slotted it. There was no doubt where that penalty was going to end up. It was always going in the back of the net. And then I've also got to give him credit for continually making those runs right up until the 90-odd minute, because he's there. He sees Nunes breaking away. He's on the run with him, goes stride to stride with him, times the run perfectly. And all he has to do is open his body up and slot it in. So when he's still that impactful, you've still got to say he's your talisman. He's your big game player for those reasons. He's a match winner. That's what Salah can do. His all-round game, though, we can still pick holes in it. And I prefer you have to, but I prefer to pick holes in it when he's went and bagged a couple of goals. It's easier to say he's shit after he scored. It's very hard for me to, because what he's done for us, to say he's had a shit game when there's no end product. Because there was end product, I don't feel no way. He was shocking, but he's still got on the score sheet and banged into. So I'm happy as anything. He's the international. He's the top goal scorer in a Merseyside derby now from outside of the UK. So he continues to just keep breaking records. And then very quickly on Konate, it was daft. We said it on one of the shows the other week. I don't know if it was me and you, Pete, on the Thursday, I said Konate's probably got a little bit of a bozo moment in him. And he has. That was very naive. For him to do what he did there, I think if it's 15, 20 yards further up the pitch, I think if the player who's due to receive, I think he was the new lad that had just come on up top for them. If he was due to receive the ball,
Beto.
Yeah, Beto. If he was due to receive the ball and didn't let it run off his body, he kind of used his body to shield it and let it run off him. If he just takes the touch and gets it under control and then looks to break away, then I think you're going to get a second yellow for that. I genuinely do. I think it's stupid. But I think because the player doesn't ever have the ball under control and he just uses it as a shield, I'm just a bit like...
I wish we had an Everton fan on this show right now.
Yeah, mate.
I still think he gets there. I still think Beto gets there.
I don't think Van Dijk's will come round and cover it anyway by the time.
Maybe, but he's still there to contest the ball. And that's where I think, for me, it's probably still a yellow card. But I think you're right. If he gets a definite touch on it to control as he turns, I think there's no excuse.
As I say, it was daft, and I think, when you see the camera pan to him on the bench and he's there pissing himself laughing, I think the player knows he's got away with one there more than anything else. Klopp hooks him straight away.
But if that was the other way round and that was Everton, you'd be calling for the second yellow, right?
Replay.
It would have been a second yellow.
Got a second yellow for the exact same incident.
I think
almost identical incident in our game.
Yeah, agreed. Hugh, agreed. There's no lack of consistency again, man.
There is, but we've said this since match day 2 that it was always going to come back to bite the refs in the arse, because when Jota got sent off for 2 terrible. They weren't even fouls. The first one wasn't a foul. He's tripped over himself. He gets a yellow card, then gets another one 10 minutes later. We've said it for a while that these refs are there's no consistency. One minute it's a red card or a second yellow or the offence. The next minute it's not. And until we really start to rein it in, or until they get a better handle of these situations, there's just going to be back and forth. Was it red? Was it yellow? To be honest, I think in isolation, if Ashley Young isn't sent off and that just happens to Konate, I don't think any Everton fan moans about Konate not going, because we've seen that happen in refs before. You have one offence where you get a yellow card, then something happens again 10 minutes later. All the fans in the ground are shouting for it. The ref looks and goes, I don't really want to disturb the flow of the game. It's going to be your last warning. Don't fuck about. I know you're pulling your face in the middle there, Dan, but before that...
But I don't understand the context there. You're trying to say that Everton, your biggest rivals, are going to turn around and say, nah, it's not a second yellow, keep him on. Rubbish.
No, I know they're not, but what I'm saying is, before that moment, Konate hadn't committed one foul the entire game. So to turn around and say, right, your first offence is a yellow, because it was, rightfully, but then that second time you make another stupid tackle, I'm going to give you another yellow, after only ever committing 2 fouls the entire game. And they're soft. They're not like he was rash. He wasn't like he was... The second one was cynical, but it was very naive. But what I'm saying is, if Everton hadn't had a player sent off, they would probably still shout for it. But the ref's going to look at it and weigh up and say, you've only actually done 2 offences all game. The first one, I've already given you yellow for because that was cynical. The second one, I'm going to give you a strong, stern warning. Don't do anything like that again or you're off. And most of our teams are guilty of having those moments. I think their extra added fuel to the fire is because Ashley Young was sent off. But if you look at both of Ashley Young's tackles, both of them in isolation are stone cold yellows. You can't escape from the fact that he wipes him out on the halfway line, Diaz, so he can't have a free run down the wing, and then he cuts him off from getting into the box from a yard out of it. You've got to get a yellow in both of those circumstances, surely.
Errol, were you expecting Liverpool to be in a title race this season?
Yeah, but no, but yeah, but no, but maybe.
Chest out, Errol. Come on, man. You tell us every week, me and Billy and all the rest of us.
I know.
Take your chest out. Here's the time.
I'm going to go back to this because this is the last week I can use it. Wait till I see 10 games with this Liverpool midfield, and then I will.
10-game review, yeah.
Lawless.
I've said it from day one.
Who have you got next, Errol?
I've said
Who
it
have you
from
got
day
next?
one. Who have we got next? I think it's not Sheffield, is it?
You got Luton in it.
No, is it? No, it's not.
We've got Luton.
Who's our next game? I think it's Forest. I want to say. Who is our next game? Yeah, it's Forest. Next on Sunday.
You got Forest at home.
Is it away or at home?
Home. I'm on the watch along. So yeah, I'm at home.
So just make the assessment now. Then. Come on.
All right then. All right. If I have to say, are we in a title race? I want to say my heart says no, yes, we're in a title race. We are, because mathematically it's still possible. We haven't played City and we haven't played Arsenal yet. And until we play them, I don't really know how we'll stack up against. But my head's still saying we will probably fall short at some point this season. I don't know what it will be, but I think we will probably come just a little bit short. But I'm okay with that because by right, if we can really re-emerge as a force to be reckoned with, to where City are like, we can't take nothing for granted again, I think that bodes well for next season when these lads have had a year under the belt in that midfield and we know what's going on with that forward line in terms of obviously the Salah situation and obviously having the opportunity to really fix the defensive issues that we know are still there. I think that's going to take the better part of the season.
I think in January will be key. If you get a DM and a centre half in January, I think you could easily get a title push.
I said that the other week. If we're within touching distance in January, and we can say the lads that have done it before can look at the other lads and say, how much do you really want to go for this? Because we can either catch City or we can pull away from City and Arsenal, whatever the equation is. I think there's a chance that we put the full force and go for it because we've got nothing to lose at that point. We'd probably, at the start of the season, those lads probably didn't expect to be in a title race. A lot of them would have wanted to redo the wrongs of last season. But if it's physically possible where they look at it and say, actually, we can have a good go here, I think they'll put as much pressure and apply as much pressure as possible. Will we have enough? I'm still, the jury's still out for me whether we'll have enough to go the whole 38 games and pip Arsenal and City this year. But it would bode well for me next season. I'd definitely stick my chest out next season without fail.
Fair play, man. Listen, I'm gonna let you shoot, bro, because I know you're busy, and I appreciate you coming on, bro.
Yeah, go on.
Just to be clear, no replay, no.
Look, they're not getting a replay for shit.
Big up, man. Big up.
No,
thanks for coming on, bro.
All the best, mate.
Errol.
I'll catch you soon. Stay safe.
Potts, can I ask you? Are
Go on,
Spurs in the title race? They're winning 1-0 now, obviously top of the league. If you're asking that about Liverpool, are Spurs in the title race?
So, to be fair, Errol got my question wrong. I said, do you expect Liverpool to be in a title race this season? That's what I asked. And no, I don't expect Spurs to be in a title race. They're definitely not in a title race right now, in my opinion, because we got to February and we still weren't in one. So I don't expect Spurs to be in one with 8 games gone. So let's see. But
well, you won it. You won it after you beat Man City, didn't you? You won the league. I thought you won it then back there the other week.
Well, that's some of the Arsenal fan base. Yeah, they are deluded though, bro. We're a very sensitive fan base. I'm very deluded.
Man, there's a lot of them. I was outside the Emirates after that. I thought you had.
Oh yeah, you went, Hugh. I didn't know you were there, bro. I didn't know you were there.
Yeah, man, I was there.
Oh, mate, it was a madness. And I said on my fan cam, just go and beat Chelsea now. Don't mess it up. And that's what we're going to go to next. Let's do Arsenal and let's do Arsenal and United because I know Dan's not got long. Let's just touch on United, Dan, actually, because I know you're not with us for long, mate, tonight. You've managed to get a win, bro.
We're back. We're back, baby.
Glazers
We're
are now
back.
fine. And Glazers are all good. McTominay's a legend, and it's great, isn't it?
It's so boring talking about Man United when they win, isn't it? It's just like
Do you know what, Lawless? Lawless, I'm going to kind of agree slightly because I'm actually really happy to start a show and it not be about Manchester United. It was so nice tonight to be able to sit here and just listen to Billy rip you as opposed to everyone ripping me. So I'm happy, mate. I'm happy. I'm absolutely happy. It's 3 points. I think the scoreline flattered Sheffield United a little bit. We hit the post. I think we got a second half. We were all over them, and I think it's one of them, isn't it? It's the calm before the storm. I think United fans need to remember that we got City next, and it's not going to be, especially if we're playing Sir Johnny Evans and Harry Maguire at the back. I think Harry Maguire does have to have some flowers. I think he was really good against Sheffield United. I think he was really good against Brentford. There are social media users and YouTube megastars, whatever they call themselves, that absolutely despise him, even when he does well. So I think for me, there is so much trouble still at Manchester United. The squad still is so disjointed. I mean, the fact that we had to rely on Diego Dallo to hit a worldie to get us a win was worrying. But I think the bigger picture for United this week, and I do want to mention this, is the loss of Sir Bobby Charlton. Absolute loss to football, an absolute hero, Mr. Manchester United. Been there ever since he retired. He was there as a director, and I think so much good come of him. I'm not going at City fans here because I think this is a football collective, and this is something that really upsets me. I think football fans as a whole need to stop with this disrespect when a great player passes, and it's the chanting of which was just disgusting. I don't label that just as City fans. Manchester United fans are just as guilty. We do it ourselves. I think when things like this happen, it has to be we have to come together as a collective. The guy won the World Cup for England, for Christ's sake, and the fact that there's idiots out there doing what they're doing is ridiculous. But I think with Manchester United at the moment, I think we can all agree this win has perhaps given Eric Ten Hag a little bit more time. I still think there's a lot of questions that have been asked of him. I still think that, and I think there will be more questions asked after this weekend. I don't know about Hughes' thoughts on it, but I still think we'll get absolutely battered this weekend. I don't think we're anywhere near where we should be as a football club. And the fact that we're realistically sat here going, well, we've got the 3 points, but we know we're not getting 3 points next week is horrendous. As a Manchester United fan, you go into every game expecting, not thinking, expecting we've got to be in there to get a win. And it's quite a sobering thought. People are celebrating. Now we go into it this week knowing what's going to happen. I see a lot of reports from, I suppose people have probably seen it, Instagram, that, De Gea's meeting up with players, and it's like just taking focus again from the club. It is so much disharmony there, and I worry about Sunday. I really do.
He's still not got a club. De Gea might get him back. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Huey, what do you think, man? Man United this weekend. I forgot it's that game. It's the derby, but gotta be confident, brother. And I know you had a couple of losses, and Rodri's been out, but he's back. He battered Brighton, from what I saw. Anyway, I know the scoreline didn't suggest that. So, where you at? Where you at with the Man United game coming up, bro?
I feel good. I think after the weekend that we just had, I feel a lot better. With the return of John Stones and Rodri, the football was so much better on the weekend. Like it's actually chalk and cheese when you compare having Rodri. Like an interesting stat I saw today, I didn't even realize the last 36 games that Rodri started for us, we've won. Or sorry, we haven't lost. Excuse me, we haven't lost. So that just shows how important he is. And you throw John Stones in there as well. I mean, like the game against Brighton, just in summary, it was kind of a tale of two halves. The first half, really refreshing. We're back to playing that attacking City football that you all know. Second half, we took our foot off the gas a bit and held out for the win. But as far as the derby goes, I like to pay respect to the derby on the basis that it is a derby. Like I was there last year when we lost 2-1 at Old Trafford, and it was a miserable away end to be in, getting pissed on from the roof, you know what I mean, leaking and all that kind of crap, and dodgy decisions go against you. So I'll give the derby, for the fact that it's a derby, respect that anything can happen. I'm confident that I think we can go there and really do them good and proper. I think on paper and form and just everything considered, we should go there pretty confident we can roll them over. But like I said, you never know. With a Manchester derby, mad things can happen. But, Haaland's back on the score sheet. We're finding him. The game against Brighton, we're finding Haaland in the channels, giving him service. And up against Maguire and Evans, with all due respect, I'd fancy him to punish. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm going again on Sunday. We go again, and we'll see.
I think Varane will be back for that one, Huey. I think him coming on as sub, I think was just getting him some minutes. So I do think it will be a different partnership. I'd like to hope it'll be Varane and maybe Maguire. But even so, I think your forward line. I think a player you didn't say about there was Alvarez. I'm so scared about facing him at the moment. He is looking absolutely unreal. What a player! What a player that we turned down as well. By the way, wasn't good enough apparently. So.
He's top notch, and Hugh is mad because that makes a good point there. KDB's been out, and you ain't really noticed it. I know you wrote a big notice. Alvarez has come in and done unbelievable bits. He really has. He's been fantastic, and I know you miss KDB, and I know that Haaland might actually be scoring more goals with KDB behind him. But Alvarez, man, he's been quality, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. And Pep said it all through last season that he's desperate to find a system where he can get both Alvarez and Haaland into the same team, and kind of playing Alvarez in behind Haaland as a false number 10 or extra, whatever way you want to call it. He's really found his home there. I mean, I think the main person who has suffered from De Bruyne's absence is Haaland. I think Haaland would prefer to have De Bruyne there. But Alvarez, I mean, like even last year, he had a fantastic season. I think he got like 16, 17 goals, but the shine and the headlines were kind of taken away from him because Haaland got 52. You know what I mean? You're not gonna steal any headlines when there's a big Norwegian bastard getting 52. But no, he's a terrific player, and he's really stood up this season. Assists as well, his creativity. I still think he's got gears to go up, Alvarez. He's still got a lot to learn. I think
100%.
He's like a midfielder that's programmed as a number 9 because his natural instinct every time he gets the ball, it's head down. I want to hit the back of the net. Whereas as time's going on, he's starting to incorporate more midfield mentality, if that makes sense, where he's actually looking up, trying to find passes, and that's why he's getting assists and he's finding himself in really good positions. So yeah, I'm over the moon. And even on Saturday, we saw Phil Foden got taken out of the midfield, put back to the right-hand side. He's so much more comfortable there. I like that midfield of Rodri, Bernardo, and Alvarez. Foden on the right. Doku absolutely tore up that right-hand side of the Brighton defence in the weekend. So I think with the Manchester Derby in mind, I think we have everything we need to really, really punish Man United. It's just about how we turn up. I think if we hit our level, they don't get near us. But if we lower our standards and don't play to our level and sink to their level, then that's when Derby Day can come in and anything can happen.
Yeah, man. Just lastly, Hugh, as well on City. Like, LB always says, yeah, I think we'll walk it this year. I think it'll be easy. I don't see anybody. Where are you at with that? Do you think this title race could be quite tight this year? Or do you think at the moment it's like anybody's? Where are you at with City? And who do you think is a threat more importantly?
I think the two main threats are Liverpool and Arsenal. I'm happy to put Liverpool. I know Errol wasn't. I'm happy to put Liverpool into that title conversation. I don't think anybody has particularly put themselves head and shoulders above the rest of the challengers, if that makes sense. I don't think Arsenal have looked like the same force they did last year. They're not consistent enough, especially with, in isolated games they don't perform well enough. I think after 6 games, when we were 6 for 6, if you'd asked me then, I might have said, yeah, I think we're going to walk the league. But then we got, a bit of a humbling and went and lost 3 in a row domestically. I still fancy us. I think it'll be tight. But what I'm anticipating as a City fan is for us to get to that City gear after Christmas, kind of February, March, when De Bruyne will hopefully be back fully fit as well. For us to find that extra gear, and that's when we'll hopefully separate away from the pack. But as of right now, honestly, Pots, I think it's there for anyone. I don't know what I'll be saying, but I don't think we're going to walk it right now, no.
Huey, can I ask you a question about De Bruyne? Sorry. Do you see Alvarez as the natural replacement now for De Bruyne, or when De Bruyne goes, do you think you'll bring someone in to replace De Bruyne?
That's a really tough question. I don't think you can replace De Bruyne. I don't think he's a player that you can go and just easier De Bruyne replacement. Some of us kind of said Bellingham when we were trying to get him last summer a little bit, but he's such a special player that you can't really replace him. Don't even know where Pep will be at the time, so what way we'll want to play football. I mean, the word as today is we're trying to give De Bruyne a new contract. The word is he's going to be back a bit sooner than expected from his injury, and that we're trying to give him a new contract. He was away at the UFC with Khaldoon and Abu Dhabi. I imagine they were talking business there, so a new contract for him. But I don't know, it's a tough one. I kind of pin my hopes on Phil Foden, although the start of the season so far has suggested that maybe he's not ready for that. I don't think he's ready for that midfield role just yet, and I've kind of come to that conclusion. But Dan, if I knew, I'd probably be a millionaire, but to replace De Bruyne is too hard.
Yeah, man, replacing him, that is going to be ridiculous. But I don't think you have to yet. I think he'll be with you for a bit longer. Yeah, listen, fair play, Huey. Didn't put West Ham in the title race. That's a strange one. They're contenders according to Lawless. That's a strange.
No,
Strange.
after 10 games, I'll decide if West Ham are in there.
10-game review. I didn't say what we were contenders for, by the way. I want to put that out there before anyone tries it.
Yeah, could have been for relegation. Do you know what I mean? Contenders. That's you just
well,
don't know.
if we asked you, that's what it would be, wouldn't it?
Well, I'll put you 10th, bro. I'll put you 10th. Hugh, do you think me putting West Ham 10th is a disgrace, by the way? Can I just ask you because you're new to the panel?
No, not at all. No.
But listen, Huey, what he's trying to what he's trying to do, yeah, is misrepresent what he said. So it's not unreasonable to say 10th. He said,
I put you 10th, bro. That's the question.
There's no chance we're finishing above Villa, Brighton, Chelsea, Man United. You said there was no chance. So that's unreasonable, isn't it? To say there's no chance we're finishing above them teams. That's unreasonable. Come on. Let's be real.
10th it is. Hugh answered my question. So
someone needs to bring out the Douglas Luiz celebration.
Oh yeah, well, what's that about? Little copy of James Ward-Prowse. What is everyone going to go and pick random non-football sports and do their little celebration? Ward-Prowse does his golf and he's like, oh, I like that. I like fishing.
Yeah. Listen, Dan, big up. Thanks for joining, man. Always a pleasure. We'll see you next time.
Take care, all. Take care, all.
Mate.
See you soon, guys.
In a bit.
You're trying to delay, by the way. I was talking about Arsenal because I know some of you.
No, I'm coming there. I'm going to leave Newcastle to last because Newcastle deserve their flowers. Yeah. So come on.
Right,
like I said, they did, by the way. Like I said, they did when everyone laughed at me and said, "Oh no, you're sucking off Newcastle or whatever it is." Lawless was trying to tell me I was doing.
They
now all
beat
of a
some
sudden they're
tin
battering
pot team
people
from South London, Potts. It's nothing special. It's nothing special. Everyone could beat them. You know what I mean?
Jesus Christ.
Hey, don't start rattling D. He'll be back in the chat.
D will be in the chat asking me to jump on, bro. He'll be asking me to jump on.
Oh no, we'll be here all night if he jumps on.
Yeah, we will. Listen, I'll throw it over to you guys because I've got my say on it. I've said my say on this channel and on AFTV, but I'm gonna say it again because I've got concerns about Arsenal. I've got concerns about Arsenal. I don't think we played well this season. Pete, come to you. You said last time that Arsenal weren't great, but it didn't matter because where they were in the league. Do you still have that opinion after seeing our performance against Chelsea? Do you see it as like point gained, bounce back, or was it just poor, man?
Yeah, I've got to be honest. I think I see it as a point gained. I thought Chelsea were very good for long parts of the game and deserved to win. I see it as a point gained, and it's these games that you might look at later on in the season and think that was a valuable point. Not losing that game was probably a good thing for us. I'm still of the mindset that as long as you're still picking up points when you're not playing well, at some point your team will come together and it will start clicking and playing the football that you were used to last season. That's my opinion. And I still think you'll be up there. But yeah, from an Arsenal point of view, it really wasn't good to watch. At times, you look really disjointed. They're able to play through you with ease at times, and defenders looked all over the place, which is not really something that you associate with Arsenal's backline. I've got to be honest, but look, you managed to, albeit through mistakes from Chelsea, managed to claw something back. You got your point, and you're able to get out of there and you take it and you move on. That's kind of the way I see it. And look, it hasn't really distorted you in the league in any way, shape, or form. You're taking a point, so it's not the worst thing in the world. It's not like it's dropped you right down the table. You're still well within touching distance at the top of the league. So, but from your perspective, Potts, are you worried? As an Arsenal fan, are you worried about things? Because you're asking me as a Newcastle fan, I'm saying, seeing Arsenal playing not great football and still picking up points, that's the thing that we hammered you about for years as opposition fans. You're still doing it. But what are you, as an Arsenal fan, what are you thinking?
Well, listen, I've made it quite clear that I have concerns for the last few weeks in terms of the style that we're playing, because everybody was saying that it's different and it's fine because it's less that teams are creating against us. But I've not seen any fluidity for a while. And me and Turkish have been speaking about this for a few weeks now. Even against Bournemouth, we won 4-0, and Turkish on the fan cam, when I was interviewing him on IFTV, said, I'm still not too sure that we're that fluid. And last season, we were a lot better to watch. Now, I can only think that Mikel Arteta has looked at what we did last season in terms of how electric we were, run out of gas, got to the end, lost some players and couldn't win anything, right? So now I believe Saliba, Gabriel and Rice being the best 3 players this season for us says it all. It's not been Saka, Ødegaard, Martinelli, Jesus, has it? It's been our defensive players. Now that says it all because they've been solid. They've been able to drive us when needed. They've been able to win us games and dig in deep. That's a different style to us. Last season, we were blowing teams away. And I don't think we were doing that anymore. Now, it's fine when you're winning. Everyone's happy. But I've been saying to the section of the fan base that was, stop moaning. Just sit on your hands. Be silent. Get on with it. We're second. Who cares? We ain't started yet. We're going to get better. That's fine. But is it sustainable? Can we get better? Because I'm starting to call out a couple of our players now, if I'm honest. I thought Ødegaard was horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. And he went invisible yet again. Now, that's against Man City, Spurs and Chelsea. 3 big games, right? You can laugh and say Chelsea's not a big game if you want. Tottenham, you can laugh and say they're not going to be. There's a North London derby. Man City's a big game. All 3 of those, he disappeared. He's supposed to be our captain and our leader. And to be fair, Declan Rice has shown more leadership qualities than Martin Ødegaard has this season, in my opinion. He's dragged us across the line. He was one of the main reasons in that second half when he dropped us a 6 that we actually got anywhere near getting anything out of that game. So I was really disappointed with Ødegaard's performance. I thought Jesus looked invisible. And I've got worries about going for a title with just Jesus. When Man City, let's be fair, never wouldn't have won a title without Aguero. Those titles without Aguero and just Jesus, which is why he was sold. And they brought Haaland. So we're trying to win a title with just Jesus. Eddie scored 2 goals in 27 games, and people are still trying to tell me he's good enough. No, he's not good enough. So there's problems, Pete. And for me, I go back to the summer. When that window closed, I said, titles to City. Oh, you're negative. You're negative. It's not even been a ball kicked yet. We haven't replaced enough players. We haven't got no backup for Saka. We haven't got another striker. We haven't got nobody for Declan Rice. We've got Kai Havertz, Smith Rowe and Vieira that all go forward. And we've got Jorginho, Partey and Elneny that all sit. We've got nobody go box to box other than Declan Rice. We've got no replacement for Saliba still. We're going to have to pray that Kivior can play there if he gets injured, or Ben White can shift across, who isn't good enough at centre-back, in my opinion. It was a really good right-back. So it's too many issues for me, Pete, and I just don't see it, personally.
You've got to be pissed off that you spent that amount of money on Kai Havertz.
Mate, it's
seriously. Like, how much was it? 60 odd million?
65. Well, do you know what, Pete? We spent 65 million on him and we spent 35 million on Vieira. That's 100 million pounds, and we still don't know who our number 8 is other than Rice. It's crazy for me. That is mad. And you know what? This goalkeeping situation, this needs to be stopped now. This is actually getting a bit on the joke now. This is mad. He's dropped Ramsdale, right? Ruthlessly. He needs to drop Raya ruthlessly now, because that's been poor performances against City, against Spurs, and now again.
Keep him in goal for the next couple of weeks. After you come to St. James's Park, then review it.
Do you know what, Pete? I said this on my fan cam. We play like that against you, we will lose. We will lose 4 or 5 against you if we play like that, like we did against Chelsea. We come to St. James's Park next week, week after next, and we play you. That is embarrassingly bad. That is going to be like you're going to hit 4 passes the way you're playing, right? So this is why I have concerns. And people say, "Oh, it's so reactionary." It's so. I've just got concerns at the moment. That's all it is. It could change. Once Partey comes back, we get our first 11. We still not had our first 11 fit yet. Let's see what it's like after that. But for me, I have concerns, man. I have concerns.
You know, I saw like on Twitter these Arsenal fans that were basically going at the Arsenal fans that wanted Ramsdale back in, and they were showing the stats, comparing stats of Raya versus Ramsdale, and there's all these stats about pass completion rate and number of passes and all of these stats. None of these stats were anything to do with like saves and all of that sort of stuff, like the goalkeeping side of things. And I look at it like, when a goalkeeper is going to go back to just being fucking goalkeepers, focusing on making saves. I think Ramsdale is a better shot stopper than Raya, but he's not better on the ball as Raya. So therefore, Raya's a better goalkeeper because Raya's better on the ball. Like, we're seeing this time and time again, these fucking goalkeepers thinking that they're outfield players and then getting to look silly like we see in that game. So
But I said this earlier, Lawless. This is the problem when you're trying to copy Pep Guardiola, and that's what he's trying to do. So Pep Guardiola has mastered it. He plays Edison. He's playing out from the back. He plays a false nine. He plays inverted ways. He puts Stones in positions that no one saw it, and it makes it work. Arteta's got to master something first and get us over the line before he starts to get cocky and try and copy Pep Guardiola, because you've got to win stuff your own way. You can't just copy the manager you learn off. And for me, I don't feel personally, it's 2-0 Spurs, by the way. Madison's just scored. I don't feel personally.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I know Madison again, who I wanted, and everyone told me Havertz would be better than him. Honestly, I personally don't feel like Arteta's got to look at himself here. He's caused the situation in goal. He's bought Havertz. He's allowed Tierney to go on loan for no understanding of why he has. And we've got Zinchenko at the moment, who's really playing poorly, really giving the ball away, never at left back, not understanding where he's playing. He got booked against Chelsea, and he was right wing when he got booked. I don't know what he's doing over there, but obviously he's over there. Tommy Asu needs to come in now because he's actually been decent, right? He's actually been really good. So I want to see Mikel Arteta be ruthless now. He's been ruthless with the goalkeeper. I want to see you be ruthless with Eddie. I want to see you be ruthless with Havertz. I want to see you be ruthless with Erdegaard, Jesus, Zinchenko. It needs to be consistent for me, yeah? And that doesn't mean drop them all. That means treat everybody the same. So for me, you have to be ruthless with the whole squad, not just your favourites, yeah? You brought Raya in because your goalkeeping coach told him he was great. He hasn't been great. So what are you going to do now? I'll tell you what he'll do is stick with him, yeah? He'll stick with him now. That's what will happen. But he shouldn't.
It doesn't matter, apparently, according to Pete Potts. As long as you play bad and you get a draw, that's what means you can win titles playing bad.
I don't know if he said that, though, did he?
You could do that every week. Listen, if you every game between now and the end of the season, as long as you're playing
that's
shit,
not what I said.
get a draw. That's what it is.
said-
It's the same fucking thing every week, Pete. I'm getting sick of it. Let's just.
But I maintain that. Hold on a second. We opposition fans hammered Arsenal for years. I'm going back 15, 20 years of having
It's
no
the same
bottle.
thing every
But
week.
you could bully Arsenal and you could get a win by bullying them. To be fair, Newcastle used to do it. West Ham used to do it. Villa used to do it. Man City used to do it. You gave them a bit of fight and they didn't want it. But what they're showing now is they've got a little bit of, what they're showing now is that they've got a little bit of a backbone. What I'm saying, what I said to you is that I think at some point it will click. It may not, and if it doesn't, then Potter's got a right to be worried.
Well, and listen, I'll be shoving it down your throat because the same week
Potts, Lawless.
Every week,
I couldn't care less.
I just get sick of hearing it every week. Oh, they play bad and get a draw. That's great. That's a sign of a good team. Listen, let's look at the context of the flipping game. They were second best throughout that game. They were second best easily. What happens? Sanchez, right? He's like, listen, Raya, hold my beer, yeah? I'm going to show you. Like, one of the most unnecessary, needless goalkeeping errors. Like, what is it? Just fucking kick it up the field. Kick it up the pitch, you idiot. Like, he just passes it to them. And then there's no sense of...
What a goal that was by Rice, by the way, Lawless. What did you think of that?
Well, I mean, look, it was a great finish, but it's an open goal. It's an open goal, Potts.
No, that was hard, though. That was still hard. He's got a lot to do there.
That was a good
Well,
finish.
he's got to get it on target, Potts. He's got to get it on target. That's it.
And he did.
Yeah, he did. Well
I
done.
just wanted to make it. I just wanted
But
to say
he's
that
got, but listen,
another good
Potts,
performance by the ex-West Ham captain. I just wanted to.
Well, it wasn't. But Potts, let's be real. Come on, he wasn't great up until that point.
No, he was good in the second half. He was good in the last half hour,
Okay.
I would say.
But I'm just saying, like, that basically, after that point, yeah, that just rocked Chelsea. Like, there was no way that, like, it was only going to be one. As soon as that goal went in, I was like, here we go. Because mentally, that was devastating for them to be so in control. They looked like they was getting a third at that point, and they couldn't quite finish. And then you just needlessly give it away like that. Like, unbelievable. But you're sitting here, Potts, Pete, and going, oh, it don't matter because, well, they battled back to win. No, they didn't. The fucking guy, well, unless you count Sanchez as an Arsenal player, then yeah, they fucking did. They really worked hard.
Might as well have been. You gifted him a goal.
Yeah, give him a goal. Like, listen, they're not going to do that. It's not going to get that every week. We talked about Spurs last season.
I'm kind of with Lawless here. I've got concerns for it, and I understand what Pete's saying in terms of you're still top, like you're the top, etc., etc. But I don't know if it's sustainable playing like this.
Pete, what is wrong with your names, man? They're too similar.
If you get to Christmas and you're still playing like this, and it's not clicked, and you're not playing that fluid football, like in context. Then if I'm an Arsenal fan, if I'm a U-Pots, I would genuinely
Christmas.
But,
wait.
Ultimately, if you're still picking up points, now, and then all of a sudden it clicks end of October, November in the next couple of weeks,
different.
And then you go into that form, that's what you want.
Why is it going to click?
It can really work two ways, though, Pete. It can really work two ways because if Arsenal keep playing the way they are, and it's just not consistent, it's poor form at times. Eventually, they're going to get absolutely slapped up by someone. Someone's going to hit them for 2 or 4 or 5, and you're saying it could click for them. It could also totally derail them. I think it's a two-way street.
Huey, honestly, I hope we're that team. I'm not going to lie.
I hope you are too, brother.
I hope you're that team.
I hope we are that team. I'm just giving an opinion because of what I've seen of Arsenal. I've seen that quality of football. They've normally let things slide because they haven't been.
I don't know. You sound like a dogged fan, Pete.
They're showing that right now. That dogged side because they're still hanging in games. They're still getting points when probably just don't deserve to. If it clicks, it can go in the right way. But I agree with you. Like if a team hammers them, you're mad. Like if you came to St James's Park, Potts, and we beat you and we beat you comfortably, right? You know the Arsenal fans are going to be in uproar. And you know for a fact that some Arsenal fans are going to be calling for Arteta or certainly massively questioning him if that happens. So you're right. I agree with you. It could go that way, but I'm just giving an opinion on what I've seen so far. We're only 8 games in. Things can change.
9 games, isn't it? 9 games.
9 games.
You know what it is? For me, if I'm an Arsenal fan, it's this stage of the season where I want to see the best football and I want to see the most wins picked up because there's nothing to suggest that when the kitchen gets hot again and we get to that business end of the season that Arsenal will be able to. We don't know that yet. They might be able to keep up with us come that part of the season or whoever's title challenging. So right now is where Arsenal need to set the foundation to give themselves the best chance come the very end of the season. Do they look like they're doing that right now? That's up for Potts.
Let's be real. Let's be real, right? Going into that game, Arsenal fans after the game are like, oh, it's a great point against Chelsea. Arsenal fans going into that game, oh, we're going to slap Chelsea. It's going to put 4 past them. We ain't got no problems. We're going to smash them. Like all of them. There was no Arsenal fans going into that game worried or concerned or going, this is going to be a tough game. Every Arsenal fan I saw said, yeah, we're going to roll Chelsea over. Now, all of a sudden, they come out of it. The context changed because it's all propaganda. All the time, it's got to be propaganda. At the end of the day, it's a terrible result if you have ambitions of the title, right? And like Hughie said, when it hots up and they're getting them knockout stages of the Champions League, mate, and you're going deep, you want the points in the bag. You don't want to have to sit there and go, oh, it's going to click. We're going to click eventually. Like, points on the board, mate, are worth more than clicking fucking off the board or whatever it is.
I agree. And you know what? We've beaten Everton and Man City, which we didn't do last season. And people can give me that if they want. But we've drew to Fulham, Spurs and Chelsea that we beat last season. So you can't go with that one. Do you know what I mean? You've got to beat Everton and Man City as well as winning the games you won last season if you want to go down that road. But for me, different season, different oppositions, man. Going to end on Newcastle. Bruv, you deserve your credit, man. I thought you were class, Pete. I can't lie, bro. Absolutely destroying teams at the moment, you know, and it's 24 goals now or something crazy. Where do you put this credit down to, mate?
One man, Eddie Howe. He's a fantastic manager. He really is. You know, during his sort of first 18 months or so, he never really had apart from when he first took over and he was kind of just adjusting the team to how he wanted to play. Like, he's never really had that moment where it's been tricky. But those 3 defeats against Man City, Liverpool and Brighton, that was kind of the test. There was people on here, on the panel, questioning Newcastle. LB was one of them. Potts, Lawless and a few others were kind of questioning Newcastle at that point.
LB was the big one.
I agree. But you were the one behind him going, yeah. Yeah, just you know what I mean? One of them ones. Just agree with everything that you said, but like, you know, and the big question is that how will Eddie Howe deal with that difficult moment? And he's come back. We're 8 unbeaten. You know, San Siro, PSG in the Champions League to mix with some of the results that we've put together, and the way we dismantled Palace fills me with a lot of confidence.
Your surprise package of the season, by the way. Well done.
Yeah,
Ben.
right,
Like, you
hold
are
on,
good at
hold
what
on.
you do,
Right,
my
so
friend.
they were 9th in the league at the time
You
we
are
played.
good at what
9th
you do.
9th in the league,
I see you.
second best defensive record in the Premier League. Right, there was reason to do that, and actually,
Build
go
them
back
up
and
for
watch,
your win.
go back
Looks
and watch the
even
show,
more
Lawless,
impressive.
because when I said that, there was most people on the panel that actually, yeah, fair play to them.
Not
When
this
they check
guy.
the league
I
and they
knew
realise where they're
what
at.
was coming.
Yeah,
I
you
knew
knew what was coming because you hate Palace, so you're always going to do that.
I
Anyway.
hate D really. It's and Palace as a byproduct of team.
Anyway, right. You know what? He's gonna come into this green room in a second because he's gonna want to beat you. You know this. Anyway, like to be fair, we absolutely hammered them. Yeah, they've got injuries and Dee talked about it, but they were never in that game, ever in that game, and we've got injuries ourselves. But the way we dismantled them, considering last season we didn't score a goal past them in 3 games, including the Carabao Cup. This is what I wanted to see from Eddie Howe. Last season we drew too many games, particularly against teams like Palace, against Bournemouth, against Leeds, where we should have picked up points. And we are finally, in my opinion, figuring out how to combat that low block. The team that just comes and sits back and goes, break us down. We struggled with that last season. What we've done this season against Sheffield United at Bramall Lane with the 8-0, Burnley that came to St James's Park, even Brentford did it when they came. They just set up and went, try and break us down, and they tried to hit us on the break. We've dealt with it really well, and we've won those games off the back of that. That's the impressive thing. That shows me the evolution of Eddie Howe, that he's finding a way of making these things happen. And the team is just getting better and better. And like I say, you know, everyone talk about injuries. We've had injuries. Botman's going to be out another 2 weeks. He'll probably be back for the Arsenal game. Joe Linton's only just back. Willock's not back yet. And we've managed to navigate that regardless. And it was just a fantastic performance.
You're going to get Champions League, Pete, aren't you?
I really, really hope so. As I said to you boys, and I'll say it again, if we can navigate ourselves to Christmas time and we're anywhere in the top 8, we're in the next phase of the Champions League. I genuinely think our second half of the season we can really attack it, and I think we can look to be massively competitive in that top 5. I genuinely believe that, because I think now more than ever, we have a squad of players like on the 60 something minute we took off Callum Wilson, who just scored. We took off Bruno Guimaraes. We took off Kieran Trippier. We brought on Livramento. We brought on Tonali, and he'll have his ban soon, but we'll have Willock to replace that. And then we brought on Alexander Isak. That shows squad depth. It shows squad depth that we haven't had. And they're not just squad depth of any type of player. They're quality players coming on the pitch. And that fills me with confidence that if we can maintain that, we can manage our injuries better, we get the likes of Botman back, Willock back, Joe Linton back to fitness, that we can properly attack this and have a really good season. Some of the football we're playing is brilliant. I mean, 2 or 3 of the players stand out for me. Kieran Trippier was outstanding. Again, top assister in the Premier League this season. He just controls the way we play. He is so good. And again, got another assist on his belt. Jacob Murphy. Well. Who would have thought Jacob Murphy, had a failed loan move at Sheffield United and Sheffield Wednesday, mid-range of the Championship, is now coming and performing the way he did. A goal and an assist, playing so well at the moment.
What a finish that goal was as well.
Sorry?
What a finish that goal was as well, sorry.
Well, he scored the goal. I mean, he admitted he didn't mean it. Like,
Oh,
he
fair
just
enough. I
wanted-
didn't say that.
He wanted to get he got it, but it was his all-round game. He created, like, I feel sorry for Tyreek Mitchell, who's an England international. He got rinsed on that his left hand side time and time again. And then the big shout out of the two English boys, Sean Longstaff and Anthony Gordon. Now, I'll talk about Longstaff in a minute, but Lawless had an opinion on Anthony Gordon. He said
he
it was
never let this
what
rest.
a waste of money, a 45 million, blah, blah, blah. This,
He
that, and
will
the other.
never let
Well,
this go.
And I'm not going to let it go because you hounded him out before he had a chance to settle in the club.
He's a
And
rat,
now look
mate.
at him.
He's a rat.
He is one of the best performing
James says it. He's a rat.
left-sided attacking midfielders in the Premier League. And Tobes on the chat the other day, out of nowhere, he even said the same. He said, "You know what? Fair play to Gordon." And you know what? Respect for Toby for saying that because he didn't have to. But
He did Everton dirty, though, innit? That was a bit rat-like. Like your boyhood
Anthony
club,
Gordon.
you leave them in a relegation battle.
Hey,
That's a bit ratty, man.
I don't care because it's justified. It is now justified. He is at this club playing the best football of his career. He, for me, is on the verge of an England call-up and fully deserved to get that when it comes, right? And he is performing outstandingly for Newcastle United. He has now become one of our most important players. He's arguably our player of the season. He's already got 3 goals this season and a number of assists. So he's putting them down as well. He's getting the goals and assists to back up his performances. He is right in the mix. He's got pace to burn, the fastest in the Premier League. He is doing bits this season. And you saw against Liverpool what he did to Trent Alexander-Arnold. Right, he's done it to other teams as well in the Champions League, in the Premier League. And secondly, and another one that I think deserves an England call-up is Sean Longstaff. Sean Longstaff has been doing absolute bits this
And you
season.
wanted him out, by the way, Pete. I remember you wanted to sell him. You gave up on Sean Longstaff.
I think every Newcastle fan would admit that. And you know what? In his interviews, he gave up on Newcastle United because he didn't think there was a future for him there. And he was on the verge of going to Everton. In that window that Eddie Howe had just come in, Eddie Howe's first window, Eddie Howe kept him and said, "I want you to be part of this team." Now look at it. He is performing consistently, consistent 8s every week. He's now backing it up with goals, 3 goals this season, got a couple of assists as well. He is backing it up with quality performances. And I tell you what, like he would slot in my opinion, people might not agree, he would slot in perfectly in England alongside Declan Rice. And he would be absolutely perfect in that position to replace Phillips, who doesn't play at this moment in time. He would be perfect in that position. Some people don't watch Longstaff. They don't see the work that he does. He does not stop running for 90 minutes. He blocks everything. He stops attacks. But now he's starting to affect things going forward. And he destroyed Crystal Palace, along with other teams as well this season. Fair play.
Pete, I want to know something. I know you want to wax lyrical about your entire squad, the 22-man squad or whatever it is, but let me ask you a question. You finishing above Aston Villa this season?
I think we can. There's no reason why we can't.
Listen, anyone can. But you see the mighty Aston Villa with Emery and the stats and
Aston Villa are
beating
quality.
Dwight
They're a
York's
quality
record
side.
and all of that stuff.
What I will say, and people might not like this, is that I think both Villa and Newcastle could finish in the top 5, which equals Champions
Oh,
League.
look at you,
That's what I will
such a
say.
politician. I'm going to call
Now,
you politician.
I will say that we're in that conversation,
Oh my
Champions League. But you look at Villa this season, despite us beating them first game of the season, they've come back, hit back with great performances and going really well. We had a 3-game spell where we were losing games, and now we've hit back with a good spell.
I think one of you will.
No. Listen, Potts. I want to ask you because now you've got to pick one of your babies, mate, over the other. One of your babies over the other. Who's finishing higher, Villa or Newcastle? Now you've got to put. Listen, where are you going? I know these are both your teams. Which one?
Both my teams. Brighton are apparently as well. I'm going Newcastle. I'm going Newcastle. And I think the top 5. I think the top
No,
five.
that's fair. I put Newcastle above Villa in my predictions. It's fair. Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Now you're getting the hype, Billy. Now you're that was beginning of the season, Billy. Now this is we've just beat
at the
West
beginning
Ham,
of the season. At the beginning of the season, you was going, all this Villa hype, West Ham, we're gonna finish above Villa.
I'm still not buying the Villa hype. I'm still not buying it.
Listen, I think Newcastle will finish above Villa.
Can the mighty West Ham finish above Villa?
Yeah.
Or will they?
Yeah. I'm backing it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, mate, I'll tell you what, you're brave. But
listen, Conference League gonna take its toll, mate.
Ninth, I think you said Villa were gonna be ninth. I think you have them.
Ninth.
So.
Yeah, that's good.
Wow.
Would you take ninth in the Conference League win, Bill?
Yeah, if you win the Conference League, you will. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd like to think that we can push higher up the league. To be honest with you,
you'd like to think so, wouldn't you?
I would like to think so. Yeah,
we'll see.
We'll see.
Listen, you're the flavour of the month right now. Enjoy it.
Yeah. Well, let's see how long it lasts. Listen, I big up Newcastle. Deserve their flowers. I've said it. I still think they're going to get Champions League. Let's see if this guy thinks they're going to get Champions League.
You're so deluded. It's unreal how deluded. How are you not letting him catch you like this? Who are you to be asking questions about will Newcastle finish? Will West Ham finish above Newcastle? Will West Ham finish above Villa? You need to know your place because you support West Ham. You don't support this so-called big side. You got spanked on the weekend. So did we. By the way, hats off to Newcastle. They absolutely destroyed us, and we haven't had our Arsenal whoop like that this season. We played Arsenal. We played some other good teams as well. No one's done what Newcastle done to us. But this man sitting in the middle is a deluded fraud. And he has been for ages. You support West Ham. You support West Ham. When are you going to realize you support West Ham? You're over here for the last hour and a half talking like you're a big side. Can you finish above Villa? Go on, Lawless. You answer this question. Can you finish above Villa?
Yeah, we can. Yeah, we can.
Well, I guess you can as well because, there's still so many games left. I'm asking you a serious question. Will you finish above Villa?
Yeah.
Because you said last year that you will finish above Palace as well. You didn't finish above Palace. You got smoked.
We had bigger fish to fry. Bigger fish to fry.
What's your bigger fish? What are you frying?
It's called a trophy, mate.
What are you frying?
And listen. I know you don't eat fish. You don't fry no fish, mate. It's called trophies. That's the fish. It's called.
Why are you talking? You won one trophy in the last 20 years, and you want to talk
How
to me
many
like
have you won in the last 100 years?
You won one trophy in the last 20 years, and all of a sudden now you know about trophies.
How many have you?
West Ham. West Ham. Well done. The Conference League is fantastic, and I would love that to be Palace. I would love it. That'd be amazing.
Shout out to Dean. It's true.
You're more closer to Palace than you are to Villa or Newcastle or Arsenal.
No,
just remember that.
Not even
once you get knocked out of the Europa League, you won't be on the show. Me and you will be together down in the barrels. You're just getting lucky.
We're not even on the same continent. Yeah, you want to chat to Luton? Yeah, Luton and them. That's your people.
You're talking rubbish. You've been raving on about, look at us. We've been great. Palace surprised all the season. We're literally 2 points below you. And we've even had our manager out for games. Forget about players. Our manager out for games. We've been managerless. And we nearly, all right, Billy was here. Look, cool. Villa beat us. But we nearly got something against Villa without a manager. We needed it. Yes, they could have took their chances and maybe they could have scored. But we needed done it. We didn't get spanked like you lot. Don't you have all your players available?
Wait a minute. We drew with Newcastle and you got smashed by Newcastle. So what does that mean?
Haven't you had all your players available so far this season? Kudus, Antonio,
not the whole season.
You have. So we're seeing the best out of West Ham. So you're telling me the best out of West Ham so far this season can only get 2 more points than Palace?
Well, Kudus hasn't been starting yet. Kudus, I literally
not that big side. Lawless, you need to stop being deluded. You need to realize what West Ham are. I think this is the
we're bigger than Palace.
A lot of people get onto West Ham. Not because of West Ham as a football club, because of you. Because you think West Ham are bigger than they are. You're not. You're not bigger than Villa. You're not bigger than Newcastle. You're not bigger than Arsenal. You're not bigger than City. You're not bigger than Spurs. You are West Ham.
Is that Chelsea?
You are closer to Palace.
Is that Chelsea?
Then you are to other
behind you.
This is reality.
Is that Chelsea? I can't tell. Or is
What?
it
I've missed you,
Barcelona?
dude.
Oh, it's red and blue. It must be Barcelona.
Well, we played
fine.
like Barcelona when we play
Surely.
against you, so you might be.
Yeah,
You sweat you twice last season, and we finished above you. So yeah, you might be a bit dazed there.
Like,
You don't have to be
that is,
Barcelona or
do you
not.
know what? The best achievement in the history of your club is that you finished above us. That's all you ever talk
That's
about.
not best
It's like the
achievement.
best
No.
thing you've ever achieved.
It's no. It's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant
If
because you
you
go on
weren't
about it all
involved-
the time.
If you weren't involved, because last season, hold up, last season you said that you would finish above Palace, and you lost
Okay, but we
both
had
the
bigger
games
fish to
home and
fry.
away against us, and you finished below us. So
We have
this is
bigger fish
why
to
I'm
fry,
saying we
mate.
finished above you last season. Look, Lawless. End of the day, where do you think you could? What do you think you could do this season? Where are you going to finish in the league?
I've said 7th. I've said it from day one. No reason for me to change.
You still think 7th? You're deluded.
How is
What
that
makes you think you're
deluded?
going to finish 7th?
Sorry, if
You're
we not
deluded.
finished,
Who are you
we've not
betting?
finished-
All right,
we've
let's
not
look at the league
finished sixth in
table. Let's look
Two
at the league
seasons.
table. All right, let's look at the league table. So Tottenham, City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Villa, Newcastle. So ideally,
So those
you're
teams not all in
against
the Premier League
Brighton.
when we finished 6th the other season. Were they not all
Yeah,
in the
but-
Premier League?
but
And then
That's-
7th. We
You're
finished
talking about
6th,
other
then
season.
7th.
We're talking right now. We're
But we
talking right
finished
now. with this
6th. Then
Premier
no.
League.
Oh, so
We're
what?
talking
Like,
right now.
but it's
The other
deluding
season-
to
we're
think
talking
that we
about
could
other
do something we've
seasons.
done before.
If you're okay, if you're talking about other seasons, last season you was fighting relegation. Let's not forget
Yeah.
that as well.
But at the same time,
Yeah.
so what? We had an off.
Yeah, you was fighting relegation and you survived with like 5-6 games to
With
go.
a trophy.
Majority of the season, you
with a
about
trophy.
relegation.
With a trophy. With a
Yeah, okay,
trophy.
you got a trophy, but in the league, you weren't fighting for top 6, top 7. You
But
was
we
you
still
was
won a
trying to stay
trophy
up.
at the end of it.
And
So
all of a
is that-
sudden, so hold up, all of a sudden this season, when we talk about the league, all of a sudden this season you're going to be so you're still fighting for a trophy, right? With the Europa League. It's a more difficult competition. Now, all of a sudden this season, with losing Rice, yes, you got more squad because you got Kudus and you brought some other
You look
decent
better
players.
without
Do you
it,
think
yeah.
this season you're going to push from staying up narrowly to finishing 7th? Are you that deluded?
Well, Leicester literally went from fucking staying up
Yeah,
now
but
to winning the league.
Are you Leicester? Are you Leicester?
But I'm just saying, how many times do you see teams fall
Leicester
off
got
and have one bad
relegated
season and
after
bounce
winning
back?
the title. I
How
can
many-
use that narrative.
No, wait. But have you never watched football before to see if team look, it happens every season, Dick.
Okay, but what's
Yeah.
your reason? What's your reason this season? What has changed for West Ham? Have you brought in tons of? Yes, you brought in a few solid players. But do
Quality
you
over
think them players
quantity.
are going
That's
to
what it
take
is.
you? Do you think them players are going to boost you from the bottom of the table all the way to the top?
Yeah. Because well, so wait a minute. Let me check you on this then. Tottenham Hotspur, yeah, they finished where? What, 8th?
Yeah.
Right? They
Yeah.
sold their best player, Harry Kane, and now they're first.
Hold up.
They got posted from 8th to
That's a
first.
very dumb point. I got you there. Tottenham Hotspur have a new manager. They don't have David Moyes as the manager.
But it doesn't
And
matter.
that's,
Like,
that's, the
at the
difference,
end of
and
the
that's the
day,
different factor. They're playing a
But wait a
whole
minute.
different style of football. You're still playing the same football as last season. We know your limitations. We know your strengths.
We're not
West Ham
playing
are
as-
not a bad side. I'm not saying that
we
they
literally
they're
tried to
bottom three or
change how
whatever.
we played
West
last
Ham, let's be
season. It
realistic.
didn't work.
West Ham are not that team that you think they are as well.
We
This is my
literally-
whole point.
We-
Like,
the
West Ham are
reason
not
why
the
we
top
flopped
six side.
last
That's
season-
your own delusion. You live in your own fantasy world. This is not FIFA. This is real life.
This
You
is a
haven't got-
fantasy
you-
world this is a fantasy world that you're fucking living in because we literally tried to change how we played last season and it didn't work. When
Yeah.
we started going back to what worked, we started picking up points and moving ourselves away from the relegation zone. Now, what we've done
away from the relegation zone.
what? Yeah.
Away from the relegation
but
zone.
you're-
That's
so-
what you're talking about in last. Well, you won the Conference League, but in the league, it was a relegation zone,
But in
and
the
that's why
league-
you want Moyes out.
in the league.
So you want
yeah,
to
but
Moyes
we
out
won a
all that
trophy.
time. Hold up, let me clarify this. You want to Moyes out all that time. Negative dinosaur football, whatever you say. All of a sudden, this David Moyes, who achieved European football in the past season, you wanted him out. Don't you, now you want him in? I'm confused. You want him out?
I said
in,
10
out?
game
Are you
review.
take it
Sorry.
all about? What's
Have
your
you-
plan now? What do you want with David Moyes?
Are you
'Cause
trying to
1 week
predict
you're
my
in, 1
10
week
game
you're out.
review?
Do you think he can achieve European football all of a sudden? Last season you didn't. Now you
We've
do.
played European football 3 seasons in a row, mate. When
Okay,
have you
no,
ever
no, but I'm
played it?
saying, okay, but
When
I'm
have you
talking
ever
about.
seen
So
your
last
team
season,
in
why did you
Europe?
want David Moyes out? You
All
went
that
through the best
PSV
spell.
under 21s,
You
mate.
went through the best spell, arguably, that your football club has ever seen in the history. You won a European trophy, and you still wanted him out then. So how comes he won you the Conference League? All of a sudden, what, you want him in? How comes you wanted him out last year? Like, what's the difference from last season to this season? Why do you want him in all of a sudden?
I never said I wanted him in. I'm just not actively wanting
a
him
few
out.
weeks ago, you had him as your display picture on Twitter.
Yeah.
I mean,
That
let's
was-
not
no,
forget
that
that.
wasn't a few weeks ago.
You
That
had him
was
as your
months
display
ago.
picture. Now you want him
That-
out because you lost 4-1 to Aston Villa.
That was
So
when
all
we
of a
beat
sudden,
Arsenal.
it's David Moyes' fault.
That was when we beat Arsenal. We beat
So, hold
Arsenal.
on.
And I
So
said,
when you lose games, let me clarify this. When you lose games, it's David Moyes' fault. When you win games, it's
sorry, we lost against Liverpool and Man City. Did I say it was his fault? No.
No, but you talked about Villa. You got outclassed by Villa. It's not David Moyes' fault. It's how you are. You're not that team. Like, this your level.
This is what I'm saying. You have no rationales. Everything's just you're not that team. Like, none of your points are actually based on fact. It's just all bullshit. Like,
what's your points that's based on fact?
You're not that team.
My points are,
you lost to Villa because you're not that team. Like, when you come to
you're
London
not.
Stadium, and
This
we
is
slap
reality.
you,
This is a
are
reality.
you going to
You're
be
not.
that team?
So who are you going to finish above to be the top 7?
I've already done my listen. The table's out there. If you don't watch this show, that's not my problem, mate. It was listen. We put the tables up last week. It was there for everyone to see. I'm not changing my tune. Yeah, I'm sticking with what I'm saying. But at the end of the day, right? We've made changes behind the scenes that have helped correct some of the errors from last season. I said I will give Moyes a chance, right? We've won this trophy. We're not going to sack him in the summer. As much as I think we should go in a different direction, we're not. There's no point in me coming on game week 1 and saying Moyes out. That's just counterproductive and stupid. So what I say is I'm going to give Moyes a chance. Let's see what he can do. We've had a great start to the season. We're still unbeaten in Europe, top of the table in our group. So why is there any reason for me to sit there and think, oh, yeah, we can't, finish in the top 7?
Are you worried though that Palace are only 2 points behind you?
No, like you just said, Pete, earlier. It's only 8 games, even though it's only 9 games. But you get the point. But that's what you said earlier, wasn't it? When it's Arsenal, Pete, there's only 8 games.
No, but okay, stop there. This is what I'm saying. When it's Arsenal, it's different to when it's West Ham. Stop. That's what I'm saying. You live in your own world.
Wait, sorry. Wait a minute. It's not only 8 games for Arsenal. It's not only 8 games for West Ham, but it's only 8 games for Arsenal.
But we're talking about a side that's knowing they're going to win more games than they lose games this season.
Why should I ever
West
be
Ham,
worried
you
about
cannot guarantee that. With West Ham, you can have a season like last season. With Arsenal, they're not going to have a season like West Ham. Arsenal, they're either going to. They got 3 objectives. Well, either go for the title. Maybe if it gets worse, top 4. What the ultimate worst case scenario, Arsenal, they will be in the top 10 regardless. Like, that's the ultimate worst case scenario. With West Ham, your worst case scenario is you could get, I'm not saying this season, but you could go down there and get relegated. Arsenal never have that real fear factor.
This is what I'm saying, D. You go on tangents that have nothing to do with nothing. The point is, he's asking me if I'm worried about only being 2 points ahead of Palace. My point is, it's only 9 games in. So why am I sitting here now when we've just played a very difficult run of fixtures, right, that have included a lot of the teams that are in Europe right now, and now we've got a favourable run of fixtures ahead of us that include Crystal Palace? Wthey should I sit there and be worried?
Hold up. You didn't even beat us once last year. So what makes you think it's a favourable run of fixtures?
You had one season. Brilliant. Okay. Well, so Villa, they didn't beat us once last year. So what does that mean? What does that mean?
So this is okay. So fair enough. Well, look, it means nothing. It depends. We got you in December when we have our players back. I'm pretty like I'm not that worried about West Ham.
2015.
Lawless,
give you a good game.
Lawless, you're confident that you're going to finish higher than Palace, right?
Yeah, of course.
And D, you're confident you're going to finish higher than West Ham.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Palace, we haven't seen the best of Palace yet. We haven't, and yeah, I think we will. I think. I'll give a prediction right now. Come January, February, Lawless will be here, or it might. Well, you make out the Europa, the group stages, but he'll be here still. He'll be crying about David Moyes.
Do you know all Palace have going for them? Do you know all Palace have going for them? That they're never in Europe, and they're always out of the cups early. So they're always just playing 1 game a week, right? They've always got to just focus on 1 game a week.
Well, that's a lie. Hold up. We was in the FA Cup semi-final about a few seasons ago. We've been in the FA Cup final as well. We were
You had Pardew as your manager still.
Okay. We had semi-final. We had a semi-final under Vieira in his first season, which was about a season or 2 ago. So that's cap in itself. I mean, we have.
But the point is, like,
we're progressing FA Cup longer than you have as well. In the last 5 or so years. What's the longest you gone in an FA Cup?
What do you mean? What's the longest we've won it, you fool?
Yeah, but I'm talking about in recent times.
We got to the final.
You said the last 5 years.
Oh, the last 5 years. So when
was you in the final?
What, 2006? When have you ever won? This is.
That's my whole point. That's West Ham for you. It's nothing bad. But that is West Ham for you. You get it? You're not on the same level as these teams. Villa, Billy's talking
this is
about
the
winning
problem with
trophies.
you, D,
I get it, because they got Emery, they got a top-class manager, they brought in quality players as well, and they're doing better this season than even last season. You can make that argument. They are improving. And Newcastle, we know Newcastle
have no major honours.
Newcastle have a whole squad. Arsenal are Arsenal. West Ham are West Ham. There's levels to this. Everyone can have a bit of the pie. You just having a tiny bit. You're not that team. You're not with these. You're not with the Villas or Newcastle or the Arsenals. You're with us. Hold my hand.
No, we are not with you.
Hold my hand. Let's go and just come to reality. Just come to reality.
You've got a fraction of the fan base we have, and you've got none of the trophies that we have. Like at the end of the day.
Fair. I'm talking about more than I'm talking about right now. I'm talking about this season.
But we still have the trophies. The trophies are in our cabinet. It doesn't matter what year it is. We're always going to have
it. This season, I'm talking about the league. I'm talking about trophies. Yeah, trophies, 100%. West Ham are a bigger club than Palace with trophies on all the other statements that you want to put. But I'm talking about this season. Like, you're not... Look, Potts is putting you here because you're in European competition. But if you wasn't, you could easily be in the show below. Because I don't think anyone is here talking about West Ham seriously.
Yeah, so could Villa. They were on the Billy was started on the show below. So did Brighton.
Yeah, but the thing is, you start on this show, you're going to end up there. Well. That shows the wavelength. So Billy's going up, but you're going down because that's the reality.
I'm still here.
They've hit the peak.
I'm still here.
They've hit the peak. No, but you kind of hit your peak. Like I could tell. Like this season. All right, look, are you going to finish above Palace?
What's Palace's peak? What's Palace's peak? What, you finished 5th 1 year or something, didn't it? No. Wait, actually, what was your peak? Did you ever finish 5th?
Yeah, I think we finished. I think it was 3rd.
Billy, you good?
What, the championship?
Oh, on top of the world, mate.
It's first division. But look, I don't talk about Lawless. I'm not deluded like you. I don't talk about, in the 1980s, we finished 3rd or whatever. How many trophies have you...
Because you didn't do nothing in the 1980s. You didn't do nothing in the 1970s, the 60s, the 50s, the 40s,
you won the World Cup,
the 30s, the 20s, the 10s.
Yeah, you won the World Cup, didn't you? You think you won the World Cup?
How many players did you even have in that World Cup team?
How many trophies have you seen in your lifetime? As a Palace fan, I have to reiterate this. You can ask me the same question. I haven't seen much, but I can admit that.
You haven't seen none? What do you mean you ain't seen much? You ain't seen none. You've seen 0.
I've seen the playoffs. That's a trophy.
I've seen the playoffs. I've seen the fucking playoffs.
Okay, what else have you seen? So what else have you seen apart of the Conference League? You're not that team. You got £200 million to win the Conference League. You should have won the Conference League. You won it. You got your job done. You would have been an embarrassment to the whole nation and to the Premier League if you didn't win it. Well done. Now it's fine. It's back to reality. We didn't just win it.
We went invincible. We was the Invincibles of that competition. Villa have already failed that assignment. It's true.
Invincibles of the Conference League.
Yeah, Villa have already failed that assignment. Then even if they win it, they're not going to be as good as when we won it because they've lost games.
Okay, so just all right, let's make this clear. We'll end it on this. West Ham are clear of Palace this season.
West Ham are clear. You clear of Palace this season?
Yeah, is that what you think?
I think we'll be clear. Yeah. Okay. The difference is we're playing European football. That's going to take its toll. That's
hold up. This is the mighty West Ham that's been playing European football, right? You just made that point. Hold up. Let's rewind this because I was watching the show. You said to Billy, you're just playing European football now. We played it for a few seasons. You might struggle. You might go down a bit as the season goes on. Hold up, the mighty West Ham, that's European football West Ham. They should be used to it, right?
We will cope with it
for 3 years, so that should be
we will cope with it better than other teams, I think.
Okay, so that's not an excuse to finish that. Yeah, so let's take that.
I think we'll cope better, but there's no fucking two ways about it. It still takes its toll. Still playing Thursday, Sunday. We're still playing in a higher level.
How many points above Palace will you finish? Let's talk about this and then let's end it on that.
What's that?
How many points above Palace are you going to finish?
I would say probably about 7.
That's clear. Is that? Hold on. I'm trying to do the maths right now. He said they're going to be clear of Palace and they're going to finish 7 points above us.
No, because I think you'll finish I think there'll be a bit of a tightness there. I think you'll finish maybe like 11th, like mid-table. But it'll be one of them ones.
It'll be tightness. Hold up. So we're getting somewhere. You're deluded. Look, I'm trying to unwind your deluded brain about West Ham.
I'm deluded. You're the one who's doing it to everyone.
Lawless, how many points will Villa
and West Ham? This is my point. Yes, Lord. You're getting there. We're finally figuring it out. It will be tight. Yes, you might finish 7 points above us, but it will be tight.
Hold on a second. Hold on. One second, D. Because he said, Lawless just said, that you'll finish 7 points behind them in terms of Palace, but you said Villa will finish 3 points behind them. Where were you putting yourself in the table, mate?
7th.
So you're saying that Villa's going to be out of Europe? Is that what you're saying?
That was my prediction.
Wow.
Wait. So you want me week to week to change my predictions on the backs of one game?
I'm just.
Listen, I'm not going to fucking just because Villa beat us. Yeah.
Villa are a better side than West Ham. They have a better manager. They have a better team.
Do you know what all you do, D, right?
Okay.
Is big up other teams against West Ham because you can't use your own team.
No.
Like, you always
you're right.
You're not bigger than Villa.
I can't use my own team against West Ham. We beat you twice last season. But listen, you know what the funny thing is, yeah? To us, that was just a fucking another Saturday. Like, we've forgotten about that. Like, you literally, that's all you've got. Like, you've probably sit there and you got a t-shirt made up. So
we done the double on West Ham.
Let's do that. Hold up, Lawless. I've said this. Let's compare it. Last year in the league, we beat you home. We beat you away. We got maximum points against you.
Nothing.
In the league, we finished above you as well. So what on earth are you talking about? We literally beat you twice and finished above you in the league.
In our worst season in a long time. Well done.
Okay.
Daffy Osman said,
All of a sudden, hold on. I couldn't use it against them. All of a sudden, it's the worst season. That's what I'm saying. You're just in your own world. You're just in your own world. You're just making up numbers. You're saying things for the sake of saying it. But it's fine, Lawless. You better hope that you go on a nice little run, and you better hope that Palace end up losing all their games and these players don't come back from injuries. Because when we do, we will cook you again as we did last season. Yeah. And my friend, this time you will get cooked on this show.
You know what? When you get these players back, you better fucking be this team you think you're gonna be. You better be this high flying fucking Hodgson Alice.
I'm not saying high flying. I'm saying we'll be better.
Nah, all I hear is we got 11 players out and we got poor Palace.
Yeah, we'll we will be better. And I hope these players are back for the West Ham game because then you will see the real Palace.
You guys play in December, right?
Beginning of December, end of November.
Who's home or away?
It's at home. It's at West Ham.
Hold up, Potts. Bring up the prediction table again. Sorry, bring up the.
These are the old predictions as well, by the way.
Yeah, they are the old ones. I realised that.
We redid them last week.
We redid them last week. Yeah,
I did change mine. I think I put Villa higher. I'm sure I put you higher.
I don't think you had us in there.
No, didn't I swap? Oh no, sorry, I put Newcastle. I put Newcastle higher.
Yeah, that's the old one. We had. That's the old one. We all had. Yeah.
Do you have the graphic for the new one, or is it not there?
Nah,
so where's Palace finishing? Which one? Who are we dropping out for when they get all their players back? Pete, you might have to drop out, mate, for the mighty Palace when they get them players back, mate.
Well, I'm not as deluded as you are. I didn't say.
Where are you finishing then? Where are you finishing?
You're in your world. I never said
that. Put my neck on the line. Put your neck on the line. Where's Palace finishing?
What's going on, man?
Top 10.
No, there's literally 10 places that could be.
I think 10th. I think 10th this season will be solid.
Any trophies or still nothing?
I think we'll win the same amount of trophies as West Ham this season.
So, but will you have the same amount of trophies as West Ham in your fucking cabinet coming the end of the season?
No, I'm talking about this season. Then again, you're twisting up. I said this season we'll have the same. Are you winning any trophies? Because last year you talked about Conference League. I haven't heard the Europa League hype yet. Are you winning Europa League?
I think if we beat Arsenal in the Carabao, I think we go on to win that competition.
What, ahead of Newcastle or Liverpool?
I think because Newcastle were facing Liverpool, innit?
No, Newcastle got United.
Oh yeah, Newcastle got Man United. I can't remember who Liverpool got. But
you become favourites.
No, I don't. I'm not saying we'd be favourites, but I'd be confident.
You said you'll win it. You said you'll win it if you beat Arsenal, so you must be favourites.
Yeah, but I'm not. It doesn't mean we're favourites. It just means I feel like we're going to win it. I think.
So you're winning the trophy this year. I need to write these down, man. I need to write these down.
If we beat Arsenal at home,
I'm tired of it. So you're winning.
I feel confident about.
Don't worry, D. Sam's on it.
Yeah,
I think we'll beat Arsenal
as well. You're winning trophy this year. Are you finishing above Palace?
Liverpool are away at Bournemouth. Chelsea have got Blackburn. Everton, Burnley. Ipswich, Fulham.
Yeah, the draw is key. Like, if we get a favourable draw, we get.
Do you think you're going to beat Arsenal then?
I think we'll beat Arsenal. Yeah. Potts, what do you think?
Depends who we play. West Ham could quite easily win that game if we play.
Yeah,
a
I
team.
think we will.
But
go
if we do
stronger than
play
our-
a team that's strong, then I think we'll beat you.
yeah, but do you think? I don't think you're going to play a strong team.
I don't
Do
know,
you?
man. I don't know because we've got Newcastle, we got Sheffield United, we got Europe. It's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough.
That's what I
No,
mean.
you just got swept
I
by
do think-
Villa 4-1. Like,
I do think we'll be able to beat you, but it has to be the right team. If I
I
start
don't
seeing
think Rice
Eddie's,
will play. I don't think he's going to play that game.
well, I don't know. If I start seeing
are
El
you scared?
Nenis and
You didn't
Jorginhos
give Rice praise as well,
White-
Lawless. There's a lot of criminal things that you said over the past few weeks since the start of the season. You didn't give Rice a credit, so I want you to.
It's nice to know you hang on my every word.
Because you was getting on to
Nice
me.
to
You was
know.
getting very upset when Declan Rice joined Arsenal because I said that he fits Arsenal. He is an Arsenal player. He is a future Arsenal captain. And you was like, no, he's not. He's not good. He's West Ham. Same thing. He wasn't doing the same thing at West Ham because he's leading Arsenal. Well, apart from the Chelsea game, but he's been leading Arsenal, being a key
He was
player for
West Ham
Arsenal to
captain.
victory.
What are you talking about?
To
What are you
victories,
talking about?
whilst Arsenal are in the league title discussion. So can you apologize to Declan Rice here and just understand that he's playing better in a better team and a better system? It's not a hard thing, but Arsenal are better than West Ham. Can you apologize?
No, he would have scored he would have scored open goals at West Ham.
Oh, gee, you're so deluded. You're so
Like
deluded.
this guy, yeah.
You're telling me that Declan Rice has just been scoring open goals for Arsenal. You don't tell me that he's been one of the best midfielders so far this season, one of the better midfielders. I'm not
It
saying
just
it's
makes me laugh. It's like people act like he wasn't good at West Ham. Like they've
no,
just
no one's saying he wasn't good at West Ham, but Arsenal
Why
have,
do you think he went for
elevated
100? Why
his
do you
game
think he spent
naturally. He plays for a better
100
side.
million?
Will you apologize now to Declan
No.
Rice?
Hell no. Hell no.
Because you're salty. You're salty.
Hell no.
That's why you're salty that he left to a bigger club.
How am I salty? I'm just real. I'm just real.
So you don't think he's playing better right now?
No.
All right,
He has
yeah.
better players around him that makes him look better.
Yeah. No, hold up. If he has better players around him, this is my whole point. A better system that suits his
That
style
doesn't
of
make
football,
him
better
better,
players around him.
does it?
He
That doesn't
will,
make
he's
him
a better
better.
player. He has been a better player. He was very good at West Ham, but he's still a better player at Arsenal compared to West Ham.
He's the same player with better players around him.
No, he's still naturally a better player because he's in a better system.
No. You're talking
Okay.
shit. You're talking shit.
All right, cool.
You
Yeah.
just support you just keep supporting every other team other than Palace because that's all you do. Oh, Arsenal.
No.
aren't they so great now? Oh,
It's not even that.
Villa
I
so
literally know because you were talking
Aren't
rubbish about
Newcastle?
Declan Rice. You were talking rubbish about Declan Rice. So I just wanted to clarify that you're still deluded and you think Declan Rice is, nothing's changed. He's, Potts, pretty sure you remember, but he was talking like, oh, Declan Rice, nothing that great, nothing that special.
Yeah,
Like,
he
he's
hates
down
it.
point.
He hates it deep down. He just can't admit that he hates it.
Yeah,
That's
he
what
just
it is.
hates it because he was talking about, oh, Rice would move to City. That's what he wants. You're just hurt. You're just hurt by it, but it's
Nah,
fine.
bullshit.
Rice, Lawless, when you go to bed tonight, I want you to just think about a few things because not a lot of people have said this to you.
Where's Zaha?
No, hold up. He's in Galatasaray. I'm not hurt like you. Do I say Zaha's all of a sudden Zaha's the same player? Oh, he's doing this. Zaha's playing in the Champions League and he's scoring goals.
When Elise and Eze go next season, then what you gonna have?
What are you gonna have when Paqueta goes? We're doing ifs and buts. We
But
don't
you
know
know
who the
what?
replacement's gonna be.
Because
Lawless,
listen,
I just
your
wanna
owners,
clarify this thing. When you go
are
bet
shit,
tonight,
mate. Your
just know
owners
this.
are a clown show.
Just know this: you sport.
You got no
West
money.
Ham. You sport West Ham. That narrowly escaped relegation last season. You still have David Moyes as a manager, who every other week you're in or out with David Moyes, depending on how you're feeling on the results. Europa League, you didn't win it last time under David Moyes. You're not going to win it this time. And as you said it yourself, you're going to have a tight season with Palace. You might finish 7 points above us. But it's going to be tight. So stop talking for Arsenal and all these other bigger clubs, Newcastle, Villa, serious clubs, and talk to us. It's fine. It's fine. We're on the same boat. It's fine. 7 points clear West Ham is fine. Just remember that. And remember, this smaller Palace smoked you lot twice last season and finished above you as well. It's fine.
In our worst season in a long time. Well done.
Well, you had.
I can't wait to
fantastic
see all
season,
these
didn't you? You won the
trophy
conference.
cabinets you have finished above West Ham, done the double over West Ham trophy. Like, do you know what? If you're coming on December when we go out, yeah, I'm gonna get some made for
I'll
you.
be
I'm
there.
gonna get you your own little special trophy. We beat West Ham twice in fucking.
That's not my trophy. I'm just giving you a reality check. I'm just giving you a reality check.
Just,
Because last year, hold up. If this was you, you would be going on about it. Last year, you said that you was going to finish above us, and you didn't. You're saying that this year as well. This year, I want to forfeit. If you don't finish above us, what are you going to do? I want to forfeit. Because last year, it's all this yappa. This year, I want you to do something. If you don't finish above us, what are you going to do?
Why have I got to put a forfeit on the line?
No. Because talk is easy. It's cheap. And you've done
You
this
do
last
a lot
year,
of
and you
it.
still do it.
That's why
I
you
want
do
that
a
talk
lot
to be
of it.
backed up.
Let
What are
me
you
just
doing
say
this year?
something. Like, the end of the day,
Let's
If
end on
I-
this. End
my
on this.
club-
Go on, Lawless.
I'm just going to say this. If my club had never won a single honour in its entire history, I don't think I would be talking like this to anyone. Like, I wouldn't be piping up to Derby County, let alone.
Hold up.
fucking
Last year, when you
like
didn't win the
West Ham.
Conference League, you were still piping up. You
Like,
didn't win the trophy. Your previous achievement before the Conference League was a playoff in 2006, but you're still piping up like you're up there with the Arsenals. And
but we've got.
Newcastle
What I'm
and all
saying
the
is,
other
we've got honours. We've got honours in our history. We have history. We have no history.
teams. Okay, wait.
We have
So what are you
no
gonna do?
history.
Hold up. Let's end the show. What are you going to do? Let's do a forfeit. Right now.
What forfeit? No, you can't put me on the spot like that.
So okay, let's decide it. Let's decide.
So
something.
whoever finishes below the other team does a forfeit. Yeah, is that what you're
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah. Talk is
Has
cheap.
to wear,
I'm tired
has
of
to wear
talk.
the other
This
team's
guy
shirt
loves
on a
talking.
stream.
You want? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you have to
What?
wear. All right, then that's cool. I'll tell you what. You have to wear.
Big
You have,
hands.
whoever finishes lowest has to wear the other shirt, the other team's shirt, right? And has to do a hot chili on the live stream.
Go on. I'm confident. I'm not like I'm not a talker.
Yeah, it's done. It's done.
Oh, wow.
Nice. I'm not a talker. Now you're nervous. Now you're nervous because you know what you signed up for. Now you're talking.
No, we're
Actually,
finishing above Palace. If we don't finish above Palace, it's Moyes out. But I tell you what. If we win a trophy, then it's null and void. It's null and void.
No. We shake
already-
hands.
you've already-
You can't add terms and
There
conditions to it.
were none of these terms and conditions.
A
when
trophy
you-
No, it's
cancels
done.
it out.
It's done.
Come on.
No, don't.
Do you think I
Trophy.
give two shits if Palace finish above us if we win a trophy? Do you think I give two shits? Like I didn't
Okay,
give
then
two
that's
shits
fine. That's
last
fine. You
season?
can rave on about it whilst having the chili peppers and also wearing Palace top. That's fine. You can rave on about it then.
Nice
Yeah.
one, Dean.
All right. Cool.
Wicked. Gonna leave it there, man. That's a good way to end the stream. Man, we've been going for 2 hours, believe it or not. Wow, that's been mad. Big up everyone for coming on. Big up Hugh for coming in, on Errol and Dan tonight as well. Obviously had to get them gone early. Big up Lawless. Big up D for coming on, man. Appreciate, bruv. And I know you were
I'm
eager to
tired
get
of
on.
this guy spouting nonsense, asking questions like he's a big team. But yeah, thanks for having me on.
Big up for coming on, man. Pete, always a pleasure, my friend. Make sure you get over to Loaded Mag and follow Pete, and obviously go over to Total Screamers and follow Billy. Go over to West Ham Fan TV, and obviously if you want to hear more from D, then it's Back at the Nest podcast. We're going to be out of here, but I need you to do me a favor. I need you to smash the like button, please, and I need you to hit subscribe. We need to get these likes up. They're only just over 100, so come on, people. Let's make sure that we can hit up to 250. That'd be amazing. We're out of here, man. See you next time. Up the Arsenal. Laters.